Let's go. Yeah, I don't know where she came from, but goddamn, I wanna say some. She a dime, wanna make her mine. Heard through the grapevine, she a great time. Yeah, it should be a goddamn crime to look that damn fine. Gotta lock her up and throw away the key, or you could lock her up and give the key to me. Take it down low, drop it down to the ground floor. I just wanna go and explore. Ooh, baby, I just want more, I want more. Got a body like a rock star. Yeah, that shit is looking rock hard, yeah, rock hard. I would put her on the roster, cause she keeps on getting hotter and hotter. Ooh, baby, let's go. She doesn't take it slow, she's putting on a show. She's acting like a pro. Oh, baby, let's go. She doesn't take it slow, she's putting on a show. She's acting like a pro. Oh, baby, let's go. Oh, she looking straight from the city. Oh man, she looking so pretty. Goddamn, I'd like to get busy. Yeah, so baby girl, come with me. Yeah, we take it outside, oh yeah. Wanna stay up all night, oh yeah. Wanna get it all right, oh yeah. Now she wanna slip aside. She got a fine ass body with her head on straight, and she look a little naughty, but that's a-okay. Now I wanna get a drink, just you and me. I don't really wanna think, I just wanna be. She giving third-degree burns, man, I think I need a doctor. Got me concerned, cause she got me hot and bothered. Everything she earned, didn't get it from her father. Man, you think I learned, but she turns me to a monster. Let's go. She doesn't take it slow, she's putting on a show. She's acting like a pro. Oh, baby, let's go. She doesn't take it slow, she's putting on a show. She's acting like a pro. Oh, baby, let's go.
Hello, it's Sarah. No, Sarah's on the line. Hello, Sarah.
Yeah, hello. I'm calling you to my own show because I got no internet here, yo.
Let's introduce our guests. Let's introduce one of our guests. This is the Unapologetic Geek on YouTube, coming to you from Missouri State. How's it going, T.U.G?
Oh, it's going really good. I'm having a good day. I was working on my videos on Quantum Leap. I'm really excited about those.
Oh yeah, with Scott. Is it Bakula? I always struggle how to pronounce his last name.
I'm not entirely sure. I pronounce it in my video. I just pronounce it Bacula, but
Bacula.
like Dracula. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Of course, I was kidding, Sarah. Sarah, do you want to tell folks what's up?
What?
Do you want to tell your flock what is up with your internet?
Yeah, my internet's out for today. Hopefully, it'll be back soon because, of course. And I can't get it to work on my cell phone because my cell phone's going to explode and it started overheating and it wouldn't respond. So I had to call in to my own show to Chance because Chance has the keys to the StreamYard. So, that's teamwork, everybody. Teamwork. And I want to say hi to Limey and Mike, and I want to say hi to Brandon, and also Brandon is a bear, and also let's say hi to Faith.
Face, yes,
And-
Face the Ace. Hello to you. And Danny Staton says, I thought this was at 9:30. Well, it usually is, but she doesn't have birds anymore that need to be put to sleep. So she started at...
Oh my God, that's so terrible.
Not permanently. No, go to bed. Sorry, they need to go to bed.
She
Poor
put her
turtle
birds to
birds.
sleep.
Yeah. Danny Staton was understandably confused. We started at 8:30 Eastern time and 5:30 on the West Coast, where Sarah's based in Southern California. So that's what's going on. And her internet's out, Danny. So hopefully, do you think it'll be restored before we end the show tonight? No telling.
That would be amazing. I live in heaven, and so I doubt it.
let's call out your provider. It's Spectrum. Spectrum, you suck.
Yes, Spectrum, you suck. Everybody goes, you suck. Whether you pretend that you don't suck, you suck. Okay, there you go.
And she did pay her bill, just so you know. This has nothing to do with that. With the
And there you go.
Yeah, and this is funny. Limey Redneck says Sarah's literally phoning it in. Like you phone in a performance.
True.
That's a good comment from Limey. Limey Redneck.
We got Don Girl in the house. How you doing, sister? Good to see you always. Dude, she just released a really cool Coastline song on her channel. It was really cool. I liked it. It was cute. I liked it a lot.
Hello, NH.
Everybody.
Hello, NH, Mountain Girl.
And we got the Files here. How you doing, family?
And Brandon reminds me that Pepsi is gross. Yeah. We know how you feel about Pepsi. You're a Diet Coke kind of guy. And I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, so I'm a traitor to the Coca-Cola cause. Hey to Bud Files. Hello to you.
Right. Anyways, okay, all right. Enough of the soda wars of the '90s and stuff.
Soda wars.
All right, so yeah, did Chopi say anything back?
Oh, she's still at work, so she'll join us when she can. But why don't you tell everyone what the topic is that can't read, because it's in the subject line. But anyone who might just be listening, what are we talking about tonight?
Tonight, the topic is lost media. I was watching a video of Doug there, and he said something about how he had deleted a bunch of his original stuff on his channel that we'll never get to see. And I got to thinking, yes, I always want to talk about, what is the topic of today's show? I already forgot.
Lost media.
Oh,
and I thought I have a lot of photos of lost media, and I'm sure Tug does as well, or some great commentary about lost media, obsolete media. And we've got a bunch. I'm going back to the 1800s, the early 1800s to start my list when we get around to me. But Brandon reminds me, Brandon, who hates Pepsi, Brandon Priest's garbage truck videos on YouTube, says, Chance, cool people drink Coca-Cola original, but you're not cool. You're the most uncool person I know. So your point is not valid. I'm just kidding, Brandon. I got to poke you back.
All right. We got
you're fine.
Inside of the house. How you doing? So, no, gotcha. I am so confused with what that even means. But anyway, this is a day. Hi, Snarky. Good to see you, sister. Yes. I just kicked a bunch of stuff.
Brandon corrected me. He doesn't drink Diet Pop. Okay. You drink Coke Classic. Got it.
Don't you ever say something wrong about Coke again.
Okay.
Anyways, okay. He was just a little lurking. Sorry to hear about your trouble, sir. Well, thank you. Yes. It's internet all day, and then when I want to go live, it's like, internet features, wonderful features.
People are giving you virtual hugs. You'll get through this. I'm sure your internet will be restored very soon.
Well, if not, I'm just going to blame you for it. I don't know why, but I will. And there you go.
Yeah. So for now, my flock is everywhere should be my flock is nowhere. Unfortunately.
I have told you I'm somewhere.
A voice in the dark.
Perched. It's just perched right now, okay? Just perched, all right?
We're pushing right through it.
God.
All right. Well,
Not
should we?
pushing, perched. Jesus Christ.
I'm your co-host every other Tuesday, so this is my night. Things got a little messed up because we did 2 shows in a row to celebrate your 1,000 subscribers, which you've surpassed.
Well, it was my birthday.
And your birthday show, yes. I was
1K, yeah.
right. So you let me skip a couple Tuesdays, so we're back on track to every other Tuesday. So this will be good. Now, our guest here, should we start with T.U.G, the Unapologetic Geek? How do you want to do this? Do you want to have him talk about an obsolete media piece, and then you and then me and take turns? I mean, I think that's what I suggest. We didn't have time to do a pre-show meeting because of your tech troubles, but what do you think about that?
When I had all my tech, you were busy, and when you were free, I had all my tech issues. Of course. You know what? I like your idea. Take it away.
Okay, and I want to say Brain Benders Banter will be with us. Great YouTube channel with puzzles and games and fun. And we're on a panel every Saturday night, Sara and I, and TD, and Jim's camera at dawn, and sometimes our friend Dan in South Carolina. And yeah. So
beautiful man, TD, yeah, everybody, the whole 920 yards.
So she should be here. She's just gotten off work out in Southern California, Northern California rather, is where B.B.B. Chrissy's her real first name, and busy lady in a good way. But she'll be on the show with her picks as well. So take it away, T.U.G. What do you think? Where do you want to start with?
Well, first I want to show you this thing that my wife made when we first got married.
It's, let me pull up your
I don't know if you can see it through all the reflections, but it's all the various different types of media that were used in the 80s and 90s, including the big old giant floppy disk. We tried to get a DAT disk on here, but I couldn't find one on eBay that was cheap enough. But you got your, and she put like how many megabytes or kilobytes each one of these did. You got your little tiny old school flash disk. This is a zip disk, if you remember zip disks.
Yeah.
I used to do so much on zip disks. Actually, no, wait. This is a mega disk. This is a zip disk. And yeah, you got your classic floppy. You got your 3 1/4 that was used all the way up until about 2002. So yeah, this was really cool. I've had this hanging on my wall for years.
That's extremely impressive. That visual aid cannot be topped. That is incredible.
That was a lot of fun.
Of course, the iPod sort of made a lot of those items obsolete.
I refuse to believe that CD is ever obsolete, though. I still have a CD burner.
Me too. And I just got what I call a supercomputer that has a disk drive. So I can add to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of VHS content and a machine that will convert it digitally to a DVD. And then I can put the DVD in the tray and upload it. It's like there was a conspiracy, T.U.G, to make DVD and Blu-ray obsolete before its time, because laptops and MacBooks
don't have them. Yeah, I have a laptop and I always have to plug it into an external, external CD burner. Yeah, in my DVD drive and shit. Yeah, I don't hate that actually. I've already decided that my next computer is gonna be a tower just so I can put a disk drive in it. Because I mean, I don't take this laptop very many places. Like if I go on vacation, I'll still have this laptop, so I can just have a tower, you know? Right. Even if I have to build it myself.
Very cool. And I thought of something. Remember the portable DVD player you could take on an airplane? Yeah, it had a little screen. I love that device. I have one right on top of this shelf I'm pointing at. That thing was cool. It's battery operated, or you could plug it in using AC. And I just thought it was fantastic.
We had one that would like stick to the back of like your car chair. Like you could stick the screen on there and then the drive would be like, it would be connected, but kind of separate. So you could put it on the ground so it wouldn't vibrate too much. That was cool.
Yeah. That's what she said. Hey, Sara.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your pick? And do you need me to press any buttons? Do you have any photos or anything you want me to back up your pick?
I didn't have any photos or anything like that to put up because it's mostly just, my opinions and stuff like that. Damn it. Hold on. I'm getting a text message.
You okay? Take a breath.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Did. I literally did, Dan. I literally did.
Oh, it must be a comment I can't see. Let me get to that.
No, he texted me.
Oh, okay. Well, what did he text, or is it private? So you can let everyone in on the little secret.
No, I was just saying, I did. I let everybody know that it was going to be earlier today. I said that to everybody. That's why we're earlier. But it was still later because I lost internet there. Anyways.
So Lost Media, what do you want to kick off your list with?
Yeah, so, not to mention, like, I have my own Lost Media and stuff like that, but, another thing that, made me think of, this too was, some time ago, California was on fire. Who knew? And anyways, it was on fire over there at Universal Studios, and they lost a bunch of really old, like silent era, type films and stuff like that, right? When the lot burnt up and stuff, right?
That was a terrible occurrence. Yes.
Yeah, Lost Movies is what I'm going to be mostly talking about. So
excellent.
Yeah, so I
think I'm on fire too.
Especially like our own stuff, right? That we gets deleted and stuff like that, right?
Well, also a lot of the masters of Elton John's music were destroyed in that terrible fire in 2008. It happened on June 1st, 2008, and there were a lot of improperly stored items. There's a rumor that all of the masters, the 35 millimeter masters of shows in the Universal Television Library were destroyed. There's controversy about that. Some say they weren't, some say they were. Shows like BJ and the Bear, The Misadventures of Sheriff Lobo, that were never released on VHS even, or Laserdisc, or DVD, certainly not Blu-ray as of yet. And I think those shows were really a lot of fun. They weren't highbrow entertainment. They definitely were very base and basic, but you had a lot of TNA, a lot of action, a lot of comedy, a lot of interesting actors. And that show has never surfaced on MeTV or Antenna TV or Cozy. I guess Cozy would be the home for that because Cozy is owned by Universal, which is owned by Xfinity/Comcast. So I don't know, but yeah, that fire was a terrible thing. I didn't mean to steal your thunder, girl. I'm sorry. I'll shut up now.
No, you're perfectly fine to talk about it and everything like that. I mean, I just throw stuff out there because there's just so much so much to talk about there. I mean, that's some stuff that will come back, and then you got all this like copyright stuff out here that you can't even preserve. Just the basics anymore because, people get all upset about it. And it's just kind of weird that we're more concerned about what's mine than what's best for everyone.
Yeah, and it happened at the back lot of Universal where they have tours. That's where the Back to the Future clock tower set is. I've been there, but it's been since 2002. Last time I was at Universal Studios in Hollywood. And you have the Jaws shark, all sorts of wonderful items. I don't know if they're even still there, the way California keeps demolishing their landmarks for more real estate. Right. It's terrible what they've done recently, destroying the Screen Gems lots like the Bewitched house and a lot of the Idrimagini, Major Anthony Nelson's house set. The external set was leveled. Terrible thing. But the fire, like I said, was on June 1st, 2008, and it broke out as a 3-alarm fire on the back lot of Universal Studios in Hollywood. And there was negligence. The fire was caused by someone who was storing, let me look at my notes here. I want to say propane, but I don't want to misspeak. But an explosive element was near where someone was using a blowtorch, and it just blew up, and that's what started the fire.
Oh my! I want to say hi to Susanna. It's good to see you, sister. Always good to see you. Always love hanging out at her place. I don't know, it's just a lot of fun there. I don't know. It's just one of those places where it's just chill. You just meet a lot of people. It's a good place to hang out.
Can I say something real quick? The fire started when a worker was using a blowtorch to warm asphalt shingles that were being applied to a facade. Wow. And among the structures damaged by the fire were mock New York and New England streets. Also, the King Kong Encounter attraction and the Courthouse Square featured in Back to the Future and the Universal Video Vault were damaged.
Mm-hmm.
But there was an even more recent fire at Paramount. I think it was just like maybe 5-6 years ago. And a whole lot of old like TV sets got burned down from like Westworld and Dr. Quinn and stuff like that. So yeah.
That sucks, that's history that was destroyed.
Yeah, and that just keeps happening periodically because California's always on fire.
The first one was on fire. Thanks. Yeah, I know, right? And then Corey in the house here.
Hey, Corey's Comedy Channel. Limey Redneck says, no, I love Bewitched. Samantha was cute and it was a funny show. Yeah, I'll show you an item. But Corey's Comedy Channel, he's a magician in the Las Vegas area and he's a comic. There's a Bewitched set. He won. Tug won that playing trivia on my channel. Yeah, on the Nostalgic Podblast. But yeah, man, good to see you, Corey. He's live, Sunday at 7 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Eastern time. And he goes for about
You guys have internet. Make sure you check him out.
Definitely. I caught it. So for you, Limey, here's a Bewitched comic book, a Dell comic book, where Sam is playing her cousin Serena, her troublesome cousin. There, let me just blow it up so you can see a little bit. There's a bit of a glare. Sorry about that, but I love that one, that cover, and I love this one. This is shortly after Tabitha was born. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Tabitha was spelled this way, like on the comic book. And there was a credit introducing Tabitha when she was introduced in season 2. And then they changed the spelling from Tabatha, like take a bath, to Tabitha. Where does it say Tabitha? I thought it said Tabitha.
Yeah, we saw it. Yeah.
Oh, right there. Yeah, Tabitha right there. Right there. And there was a doll spelled that way, Tabatha. So no one really knows why they changed the name to Tabitha, but they did. And some say Liz Montgomery didn't like the spelling of Tabitha, but that's not been proven as to why the name was changed. Let me put our guest back on the screen. There we go.
Yeah, nowadays, they'd probably put an unnecessary Y in there somewhere.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Hey, I wish you would do layouts the way I taught you to, but hey, whatever. At least you're hitting buttons. Okay, cool. All right.
Well, what layout would you like?
Tabitha.
What layout would you like? This is your show. I'll make it so.
That's cute. No, just when it has to be big, right? Just everybody on the side, right? Like that way, everybody can still see who's there.
Well, it's just the two of us now.
Yeah, there's only 2 of us.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I know.
But I'm confused. And Corey, he says, I'll be here all week. Try the meatloaf.
The 9 o'clock show is completely different from the 6 o'clock show.
Hey, Mom, more meatloaf. I want meatloaf now. What, Wedding Crashers? Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
Wait, Wedding Crashers.
There's a movie, a comedy, and Will Ferrell had a cameo. He's playing a guy living with his mom. Anyway.
Yeah, no, yeah, okay.
When Corey mentioned meatloaf, I thought of that scene. That's all that happened there. Okay. So Your Lost Media was about the fire of 2008 at Universal Studios. Did you finish your thought?
Well, yeah, it's just mostly that was my thoughts on that. So somebody else's turn, I guess. I don't know. I just want to hear what you guys have to say about it because you guys are big into
Well, I'm going in chronological order with my list, and let me see how many items I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items. Here's the first. This is called a stereoscope. I'm going to put it on the screen. Remember the stereoscope. A lot of you youngsters will not remember this unless you're at your grandparents' house and you might have seen this item. And do you know what year it was invented? Anybody want to take a guess? T.U.G, Sara?
I'm going to say 1925.
I
Lower.
don't know. It's math. I don't know math.
No, just take a guess. Guess a year that you think that the device on the screen was invented. No cheating. Don't Google cheat. Sara, just throw out a year.
Well, first off, I don't even know what it is. So I'm gonna pick up my phone and take a look at it, like an old woman. Oh my God, is that a viewfinder of the past?
Yeah, it's like a viewfinder. Yeah,
correct. And it was in 3D. It's called a stereoscope. Stereo, like for the ears, except stereo. What's so funny? Stereo for the eyes. Did a comment come up that cracked you up?
No, I didn't know it was a stereoscope. That's hilarious. I've seen those before. I had no idea that's what they were called.
Yeah, it's a stereoscope.
It's for stereo vision. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're little cards. It was right when photography was invented, around that time. you had a
Yeah, I can see
stereoscope,
that.
and you would put this thing on each eye, you know, and you'd look at a little card that you see pictured there. Anybody else? Tug, do you want to take another guess of a year you think it
Well,
was
you
invented?
say it was around the time photography was invented. That was about like what 1850, 1860, somewhere in there.
Yes, you're really
Oh,
close.
my
I'll just,
God.
Sarah, do you want to take another guess, or should I just reveal the answer?
Just reviewing us at this point.
It was
Yeah,
invented
I
in
just, like,
1832.
Oh wow, even earlier.
Yeah, see, I never
Oh.
would have guessed that.
Someone has joined. I heard the beep. It's B.B.B. How are you, B.B.B. Chrissy?
I made it.
Yay! Are you driving home? Say hey to Tug, the unapologetic geek.
Hello.
Hi, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going.
All right.
I'm off.
So,
Okay, we can get the stereoscope off the screen.
Yeah, I'll talk about it when we're done doing our little intros. I just want to tell you a brief history about the stereoscope, but
Go for it.
well, I started B.B.B. with the stereoscope, invented in 1832. I won't be too long with this, but the guy who invented it was a guy named Charles Wheatstone. It was invented by Sir Charles Wheatstone, and it was constructed for him by an optician, R. Murray, in the year 1832. And it works both with reflecting mirrors and refracting prisms. It's pretty cool. And you just look at these little cards. So there's not much to it. And that's my first pick. Now let's get that off the screen and ask you, what is your first pick? We're going to go round table tonight talking about obsolete media. What is your pick? Your first pick, Chrissy?
What do you mean, my first pick?
We're talking about obsolete media. That's the topic.
right, at
Lost
this moment.
media is what Sarah calls it. Obsolete media. I guess you didn't get the memo.
Yeah, I'm trying to get off work, so I was like, oh my God, I'm trying to get off work.
Well, I don't want to put you on the spot. That's cool. We can just, go back to Tug if you need a minute.
I think that thing you just had up on the screen, though, looked like the first viewfinder.
Exactly.
It's a stereoscope.
Listen,
It segues into my second pick. I'll just put it on the screen, which is the Viewmaster.
Yeah, Viewmaster. I had those.
Me
Absolutely.
too. I loved those things as a kid.
We'll talk
I know
about
all of
that.
the national parks because of that from the Viewmaster. I had a
Right?
whole set. There was like one for each national park, and there's like 30 national parks at least.
I think so.
Hey, Sarah. Dan has just joined. Hey, Dan.
Dan,
Good evening. Greetings from South Carolina.
greetings.
there you go.
I am sorry I'm late, Sarah. Well, she messed me over a little bit because I thought it was 9:30, and I'm doing this live stream and trying to get all my stuff together so I can be done in here by 9:30. I look on and here you are all already on.
Hi, Dan.
Messed my whole schedule up.
I had told you backstage a few days ago that I was going to be live earlier. You said, okay.
Sorry, Dan.
I thought it at the earliest 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You did not specify how early.
All right.
All right.
Get
Well,
the
I
bitching
got
session
you.
over with so we can get back
I'm
on track.
here. That's all that matters. I made it. I'm in the show.
So, what is your pick, Dan, of obsolete lost media of the past?
Obsolete lost media.
It could be something we talked about, for instance. Well, I've got some good ones. I don't want to spoil.
I would really like to see the lost original version, the German version of The Hobbit.
Oh, good call. Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've always wanted to see that. And I've heard there's a copy of that somewhere in Europe. And there's actually clips from it on YouTube, but I've never seen the whole silent movie, The Hobbit feature.
I've only heard about it. I haven't seen anything on it. Like, I didn't even see any YouTube video clips of it. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's even cooler is the reason I'd like to see it is I happen to have one of the movie props from that movie, the Lord of the Rings, Bilbo's sword, the stinger.
Oh, nice. Sting.
I've got
yeah.
I've got the sword actually used in that movie.
Cool.
Very cool. Corey's comedy channel has a little joke I put on the screen. Hey, my dad was a fireman. He used to fight fire with fire, and that's why he got fired as a fireman. Now that's comedy.
Arc.
He's all fired up.
Good one. He's all fired up. See, we're approaching Father's Day weekend, so we got to get the dad jokes in for sure. And Corey's the king of the dad jokes.
Well, sure. Okay.
That was sounding a little sarcastic.
Well, I mean, Pawn's dad jokes are, I'd have to say, even better, honestly.
I think it's a draw, but that's a great point about Thrash Pondo Pons. Really nice guy in Cape Cod, Massachusetts State.
Maybe it's his delivery. Maybe that's what makes it
But
better.
wait.
Do a comedy off. A dad joke off. That would be great. That doesn't sound right at all.
Careful,
Oh, no.
you said joke off. Okay, let me be clear.
Dad joke off. Yes.
Correct. All right. We're not doing any circle joking around here. All right. Dan wanted to say something to you.
That's okay. It was a horrible comment. I decided not to say it.
Okay.
It was the Tourette's about to come out and make Corey cry, so I'm not going to do it.
Poor Corey, don't make him cry.
I pick on Corey because he's my buddy.
He's a nice guy. He's a fast friend, that's for sure. Fast friend. Keebler, no sugarcoating the truth, says, you know what has really lost cassette tapes? That's one of my picks. They warped easily and tons of stuff can't be played. Remember when the tape would come out of the cassette? When there'd be a malfunction? Yeah, and tape would go. They did a funny bit.
Like, wind it back up with a pencil, you know?
Yeah, it's just all the time, man, and videotapes as well. I mean, if your shit broke, you always find the Sara to fix up for you. And I just there you go.
There you go.
Save it.
And you know, speaking of videotape, I was such a little hellion. I rented Star Wars in 1985 from a video store, took the tape apart, and swapped it out with a blank VHS. And they did not figure out who did it or where the movie went or anything. And I transplanted the movie into the tape and stole the thing. And back then it was like $100 to buy a VHS of Star Wars. It was $100.
For the longest time, it was super expensive to get Star Wars. Yeah.
I used to go to the video rental stores and I would rent a bunch of really cool movies. And back then in 78 and 79, movies were like $120 if you bought them. So I bought a bunch of actually I was given a bunch of VHS blanks and I had a VCR and my mom had a VCR. So I'd stick them together, throw them patch cables in and rent them and dub them off and make my own copies of the movies. So I wouldn't have to buy them.
And Laserdisc, if you were fortunate to have a Laserdisc player, you could connect it to your VCR.
I would not call Laserdisc players fortunate. Sorry.
You could connect it to a VCR and record a perfect recording of a movie.
I have a lot of Laserdisc recordings.
My dad had one of them great big old machines that played DVDs that looked like record albums. I don't know
basically,
what It was a great big old video player. I hated that thing.
Unfaded though, but yeah, this is a original huge VHS. The box is huge. That's what she said. 1984 from USA Home Video. I think that was the USA Cable Network's home video arm. And then let me show you. Here's a Superman the movie in the plastic old VHS release.
Nice, still in the plastic.
Yeah, it's still in the. I opened it from the bottom though; it's not sealed. That's what I did with most of them, but I just love the plastic.
Well, and it protects it from light damage and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I've got quite a few VHSs, and a lot of them have never even been opened.
Wow.
If anybody wants to buy them, just let me know. Because
when I was a kid, I collected a lot of the old Disney, like the clamshell ones, like from their vault, and those, like, if I could find the box that's somewhere in my parents' attic, if I could find that, it would be worth so much money.
Which one you looking for?
The Disney like vault movies, like movies that they would only release like for very limited time in these big clamshell
in a great big old giant white box.
Yeah. And like because they were so limited and they would only release them like once every, I think it was 7 or 8 years or something. There was like a rule. They actually go for a ton of money now among like Disney collectors because
really,
Disney
I did not know that because when my kids were kids, I'd get the VHS copies of the Disney movies every time they come out. And I still, right here at this house where I'm at right now, probably still have 30, maybe 30 original.
You could be sitting on a gold mine, man. Yeah.
They're in a box taped up and packed up somewhere. I hadn't seen them in 10 years, but I know they're here.
My mom has all those Disney releases too, Tug. She's a retired school teacher in 5th grade, and really nice condition. She would buy those releases when they first hit the market to show to her students. And
cool.
She's got the Little Mermaid with the one everybody wants. And
I got the Little Mermaid one, and I got the Lady and the Tramp, maybe Snow White, and
mail it to me.
Like that.
Mail it to me, please. Could you do that? Well, since you've been mailing so many nice gifts out to people, you haven't mailed me anything yet, buddy.
Well, you live close enough when you drive up here. You live close enough to drive up and pick them up.
That's cool. And kids in the chat, this is what a clamshell case is. Here's an Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man 1967 cartoon that Marvel Comics put out in 1985. They also released these on beta, and I have one of the beta Max versions. Let me make it big. Why are you laughing, my little lovely laugh track?
I'm trying to figure out why I have so many VHS tapes and don't have VCR.
Go ahead, Dan.
I have so many VHS tapes, it's pathetic, and I do not have a VCR that works. It's like I can't watch none of them.
Oh man, I've got a combo VCR to DVD. This was the first VHS I ever got. It was actually Arena, the episode where Kirk is fighting the Gorn, a giant lizard. I mean, a size of a man, like a 6-foot lizard. And Turtles Records and Tapes in Merida, Georgia had a nice display. No one has seen this. I've never seen a photo of this display. I can see it in my mind's eye. And it had like 3 different levels, and you could just grab the episode that you wanted. This is The Enemy Within, and this is a blooper because, Tug, you'll appreciate this. The picture is actually from a different episode. It's from What Are Little Girls Made Of?
Yeah.
Not the the Laserdisc had the correct image, and it was Kirk on top of Yeoman Rand, the evil Captain Kirk, I should say, on top of Yeoman Rand. It was correct on the Laserdisc, but not on the VHS. But that was the first thing I got. And man, did this ever kick off a trend long before DVD. And these were $14.95 per episode retail before tax.
I remember trying to collect as many of the original Star Trek episodes as I could. And like, yeah, $14 a pop for each individual episode is nuts.
I was way cheaper than that. I just recorded them off TV because they played them every day at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, see, you were smart.
I had them all, but they had commercials in them.
But you were missing 5 minutes of footage because they would cut. I remember in the mid 80s, starting around 1985, in syndication, they got back to the 35 millimeter masters instead of using 16 millimeter film, and the episodes looked like new. It was the first time you saw something restored, digitally restored. But they would cut 5 minutes out of an episode. Now, one of those minutes was the next week preview, so only. So that didn't really affect the story as much, but then the other 4 minutes sure did. And that kind of stunk when they would edit for more commercial time. Because a TV show, Star Trek, was, without ads, 51 minutes, 30 seconds long, give or take a few seconds, without commercials. And then when 1985 hit, it was reduced to 46 minutes, 30 seconds. So 46, 47, 47, 5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, when I first started doing it, I would sit there and I would pause every commercial and start it back when the show come back on. But that got really tedious and irritating, so I just started recording them full.
I did that for Night Court of all things.
I got pretty good at not having commercials in my videotapes.
Tug, for you and for Dan and Sarah, this is the Laserdisc I referenced. I have that too, and there's Kirk. Yeah. How it's correct. That's the correct image for The Enemy Within, where Kirk is split into 2 halves by the transporter malfunction, a good half and an evil half. And same episode, but the VHS was wrong, so somebody effed up. But the back was the same. The back is the same, and there was 2 episodes per Laserdisc, 1 per side of the disc. And I just love the artwork with the little transporter animation in the back behind the images. I think that was pretty cool how they did that. And then they redesigned them a few years later. And I hated this design. This was like the 1990 repackaging so they could re-release them, and they took out the 1 minute preview. Like these had the next week previews, next voyage intact.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have them in these. And I'm like, why would they remove that? I just love the way
because those are fun.
edited. Yeah, absolutely. Sweet.
It's like when I watch a show like even like a more recent show like Lost or something, if it has like that segment of like what's on the next episode, I want to watch that even if I'm binge watching. I don't know why, I just like it. It's fun.
Amen. We are of the same mind on that. And this was the best release. This is the DVD release. It had the next week previews, but they were isolated, but it had the original first half of the season 1 opening by Alexander Courage that you heard in only one episode, Where No Man's Gone Before, not the pilot version,
right,
where it had Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, but the aired version, that's the only one in syndication for the longest time where you saw that opening. And then they changed it midway through season 1 to the one that they used primarily in syndication. And what I don't like, Tug, is that now, let me take myself off solo shot there, is that now, like on MeTV and in syndication and on Paramount Plus, they're using the versions that were remastered in 2005 through 2009, where it's just a generic opening, and they splice that before all the episodes. And as you know, the original openings in the seasons were different. You know, you had what I call the Wailing Women in season 2, right? Not in season 1, but in the first pilot, The Cage, you had the Wailing Women. So the very first version of that opening in The Cage, the unaired version, you had what I call the Wailing Women. And then they didn't have them in season 1, the opening. They had them in season 2 and season 3. Okay. Does that make sense?
I like that opening.
Me too.
It's great.
The Wailing Women? Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
And that's what I'm saying. And some hotshot working with Paramount decided we don't need that anymore. We're just going to have we're going to hire some cheap musicians to reorchestrate it, and we'll have a new version, and we'll just splice that to the front of every episode, all 79, actually 80, because the 2-parter menagerie counts as 2.
I do love my Twilight Zone DVDs because they have the different openings from like season to season. Like they would kind of change a little bit here and there. And the first season was drastically different. And then it would also have like the end, like the preview of the next episode where Rod Serling is just telling you like, you know, our next episode's brought to you by Richard Matheson and will be wonderfully acted by Jack Klugman or something. You know, like I love that stuff. It's so cool.
I did a podcast about Twilight Zone. I showed that, and you're right. And the season 1 had that different theme.
Yeah,
and it was by the same composer that scored Psycho for Alfred Hitchcock. And do you know his name? I bet you do, Tug.
Actually, I don't off the top of my head. No.
Well, it's irrelevant. But there were 2 different openings for season 1. No, for season 1. Remember that the strange opening for the latter half of season 1 showed a woman's eye, and you saw
eye, and you saw the like, little line come through the screen,
and that line returned in season 2, the opening credits.
Yep.
When you had the traditional theme for the first time in season 2 of Classic Twilight Zone, that little line was going across through the sun. I don't know. I like that little line. This is just a cute little detail. I don't know. I like that a lot.
And the narration was different. Instead of like a doorway and all that, it's like the pit of I don't even remember it off the top of my head, but I love it.
Yeah,
it's annoying. I can't remember it.
That opening was for the 1 hour season. Season 4 of Twilight Zone was expanded to 1 hour, and they took out they just called it Twilight Zone instead of the Twilight Zone. And then season 5 retained that original opening of showing the doll, showing the smashing window, dimension of sight, the dimension of sound.
Right.
So
I really enjoy Tug's videos on the Twilight Zone he does. If you haven't got time to sit back and actually watch an episode of Twilight Zone, you should check out one of his videos. It's kind of like
give you a quick summary. Yeah,
it gives you the whole feel of that, like you actually watched the episode and learned something.
That's right, and it was Bernard Herrmann who scored the Twilight Zone first theme.
I should have known that off the top of my head. I really should.
That's okay. And it's kind of like I Dream of Jeannie. There were 2 different themes. The black and white season, the only season of black and white of the 5 seasons of Jeannie was the first season. And you had Richard Hess did that slow theme. And then you had Hugo Montenegro come in and jazz up the theme. And that's the guy that did the spaghetti westerns for Clint Eastwood. All that music.
Yeah. Like the theme song is what we remember from I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah. So there were two different themes to that show as well. And just like there was with Lost in Space, there was the season 1, season 2, then the jazzier season 3, all scored by John Williams when he was known as Johnny Williams, before he was a big-time movie composer. All right. I like Keebler's Choice cassette tapes. That was a good one. And they did a funny bit. Are you familiar with Modern Problems, Tug, the Chevy Chase movie where he gets powers from 1981?
I've seen it, but it's been years. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. So
everything's going wrong for poor Chevy Chase right before he gets his powers, and he's in his car, and his cassette tape player screws up, and tape goes everywhere. Yeah. And these kids key his car in the parking lot of the airport he works at as an air traffic controller, and then he encounters a tanker that's hauling nuclear waste, and it's green, and he gets all over him, and that's how he gets his telekinetic powers. That was a underrated movie, and there's a sexy scene where he gives his girlfriend an orgasm using his powers. And she's like, that's the most incredible thing I ever felt.
That's the one thing I remember from that movie.
I can't remember the black lady's name from that movie, but
Nell Carter.
She kind of stole the show for me. She
did.
was outrageously funny.
She played Dorita, the housekeeper.
God, remember
into voodoo.
We should do a whole episode of just examining your memory and how it works. You got the Star Trek Vulcan memory, man.
Oh, thank you, sir. But you'd be amazed at what I don't know. So Corey's getting a shout out from Lobo. I'm way behind on the comments. There's Tug right here on the channel. My first thought with Meatloaf is Rocky Horror Picture Show. Absolutely.
Hoppa-tootie, let's a song. Yeah.
Let's do the time warp again. Yeah. Wow.
Let's do the time warp again. It's just something to the left.
I live in a time warp. I'm watching Space 1999 for like 2 months now. It's streaming on the official Shout Factory YouTube channel called Shout Studios. And I love it, man. It's like, I'm probably just going to kill my brain cells with lack of new things going into my mind, just watching the same thing again and again. Probably not healthy, but man, it's fun to stream that on the TV for free, commercial free, all 48 episodes in production order, the way the show should be seen. Because here comes B.B.B. again. For some reason, IMDb has the incorrect episode order. And what happened was Tubi TV and Prime, which also streams Space 1999, go by the IMDb order. And it's really important if you're watching for the first time to watch the show in production order, because things happen like that don't make sense. Like there's a guy, Commissioner Simmons, who early on in the 5th episode gets his comeuppance. He's like an a-hole character. He's like Commander Koenig's superior.
That's a great one.
Great one. Mm-hmm. And you see that much longer in the IMDb order than you would in the actual production order, meaning the order the episodes were filmed. And you know how it goes, Tug, like with the original Star Trek.
I was going to bring it up, yeah.
Out of order is not the way to go. And that's the way they're shown on MeTV and on Paramount Plus. They have them in the aired order, which is flawed. I mean,
that's the worst.
That's the worst.
About all of them.
It's the worst.
Is Baywatch. Oh my God.
Well, yeah.
That's the worst airing ever. Everything was always out of order. So bad out of order. I thought I was going insane watching the series, because, good God, nothing made sense. And then to find out, it was a feature. Crazy.
I think I ran Brandon off with all the Star Trek talk. He can't stand classic Star Trek. Just like Brandon's garbage truck videos, he lets you know, boy, that he's not Star Trek again. Welcome back, B.B.B.
Well, then if he's on here with me and you, he's on the wrong place. He's at the wrong place.
What's that, Sarah?
I said, are we echoing?
No,
not at all.
I think Chrissy drove through a mountain range and lost the signal, I think, on her cell. I hear her call. Hey, I'm psychic. I figured as much. Cool.
Yeah, underneath those glasses, you got those big bug eyes from that Outer Limits episode.
Yeah.
Let me say hey to Chrissy, because I didn't get a chance to do it at the beginning. Hello, Chrissy. Good to see you. Well, almost see you.
That bug-eyed guy that Tug referenced, that was played by Warren Oates.
Right.
Warren Oates, who was in Stripes, of course. Lighten up, Francis. What a great character actor. Oh, God, I didn't blow my nose. Excuse me.
Fine, whatever. Okay, so TD in chat, making fun of me for going to my own show.
Sorry about that.
Hey, at least I got people that are like, hey, no, let's just go live, right? I'm like, yeah, sure, I got internet on my phone. And this is one with my phone suddenly. So I can call in, right? Calling into my own show. Yeah.
Yeah. Corey says, I still have a lot of cassette tapes. I do too. I am a pack rat. I'm not a hoarder. There's a difference. I'm a pack rat, and I've got tons of cassette tapes. I sure do.
I'm a digital order, that's for sure. Man.
I remember I'm decorating the side of the freeway.
Oh, you know what sucked about cassette tapes, panel? You didn't have the lyrics. Like with most albums, the vinyl, there would be the lyrics on the sleeve.
I had a lot of cassette tapes that come with the lyrics.
Some did.
There are some that had liner notes. Yeah.
Some did. Some did. No, some absolutely. But the lettering was so doggone small, you needed a magnifying glass as opposed to a record album where you could easily read the lyrics. But you're right. You're right, Dan.
But,
some cassettes did.
I remember getting the Shout at the Devil. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I remember getting the Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue cassette. And when I opened it up, it had like lyrics and all kind of stuff. It was like a little book in there.
Yeah, some of them did. But I remember, let's see, like 1990, I got Pearl Jam 10. And instead of the lyrics in this tiny little space, it was just one word from a whole line and then one other word. So it wasn't enough to know what the hell Eddie Vedder was saying. Because you can't understand what he's saying. So that was just annoying. It annoyed the crap out of me.
You get that once in a while with some stuff. But I do remember a lot of cassettes having all the lyrics and information in them.
Yeah.
That's really funny. That's really funny.
Unless it was the greatest hits, then it just had it.
When I was in high school, he borrowed a Metallica tape from somebody, and he was letting me, listen to it. And then I opened it up, and a bunch of pot seeds fell out of the
Nice.
And we went, oh, and we got to pick them all off the floor, and we quickly, threw away and shit, because, parents are very Mormon, and what is all this? And now, here we are, my mom brings me my weed.
Whoa. Hey, I was going to show you something.
Yeah?
Here's a cassette tape. And
Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason. You know what? He could not read music, but he sold more records than anyone. He has records. He has records for his records. He has sales records for his records. And this is for lovers only, Jackie Gleason. And I love the smell of a cassette tape, a fresh cassette tape. And this one still has a little bit of that smell. But look, no lyrics or anything. That's a clear one. I like the clear cassette tapes.
The clear ones were always better.
There's Michael Jackson, Off the Wall. That's when he still looked black before he passed away. God bless him.
Man.
Look.
He's got the whole afro going. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually a good album. I like Thriller. Say what you will, and no lyrics. Some did have lyrics. And then this is the Power Station, underrated band. It was part Duran Duran. Robert Palmer was the lead singer from, I got a bad case of loving you. Yeah, I saw him on tour when I was a kid in 1985. And Robert Palmer was such a jerk. He quit the band in the middle of the tour.
Oh, my God.
That's why the guy who sings Addicted to Love?
Yes, Robert Palmer. Not Robert Plant. That was Led Zeppelin. But yeah, Robert Palmer. Now this one.
I did like his videos.
There's Andy Taylor. The two guys in the middle were in Duran Duran.
Yeah, Andy Taylor.
The drummer on the far right, and there's Robert Palmer on the left. But look, there's lyrics in there. But look how tiny there are. I just wanted to show you guys and gals a cassette that has lyrics, to Danny in South Carolina's point. There you go.
You need a big magnifying glass like Sherlock Holmes to read them.
Yeah. Look, it opens up pretty good. And that was a good band. It's too bad that Robert Palmer torpedoed his own band. He decided to go solo, and he just dumped them. And Some Like It Hot was a big single from this album. And they did another single, Communication. My theme that I borrow from them is Harvest for the World, which is a B-side. So not even a B-side. I think it was just on the album. It wasn't a single. And then they did a cover of where is that song? Get It On, Bang a Gong. Right. Or Bang a Gong, Get It On.
Oh, yeah.
Their cover was a big hit. Power Station. And then last thing, I'm getting ahead of myself. Obsolete media, lost media. How about 45 single releases?
Oh
This
man,
is
yeah.
perfect for Pride Month, right? The rainbow. But this is the Olivia Newton-John import, very rare. This is from the Xanadu soundtrack. It's one of my guilty pleasures.
That's Japanese.
Yeah. What did I? Yeah, it sure is. It's imported from Japan. In really nice shape.
What did I say?
Did I say? I don't know what I said. And then there's
Don't worry about it.
suddenly.
Japanese.
These are just ones I had. Now here's a weird one because I love the Space Giants. This is a punk band, the Goblins, and they used Goldar, the Space Avenger from Magma, which was airing. I don't know if Dan in South Carolina remembers this. It aired on TBS on cable after school, 4:00. Had the Lugo Man Giant. It was Rubber Monster show.
That's a complete mystery to me. I've never seen it or even heard of that one.
Oh, it's great. Oh my God, I love the Space Giants. Rodak, this guy's trying to take over the Earth. That's a whole nother discussion. I'll do a whole Podblast on the Space Giants.
What year was that?
It was produced in Japan in 1966. From 66 to 67, there's 52 half-hour episodes. There is an ending where the bad guy gets killed by the good guy, Rodak, and he has these shape-shifting dudes that help him called Lugo Men. And the hero is a 50-foot robot. That's Goldar. He's gold, though. These guys, changed up the coloring of the character.
It looks like a girl Punisher outfit or something.
It's great. He actually has a wife, this guy, who's normal size, Silvar. And, of course, in Japan, Magma, Taishi is his real name, Magma, meaning volcanic lava. That's where he gets his power. He lives.
Magma, got it.
His base is in the base of a volcano, an inactive volcano. But anyway, boy, there's some comments coming in. So that's another piece of obsolete media, 45 records, singles, all replaced thanks to our friends at Apple. And before that, too, really. You had these. This is obsolete. Look at these. These are single compact discs. There's some Beatles I have from 1990 and 89. There's She Loves You. Let me blow this up. I'm not trying to hog the show. I will shut up in just a second after I make this point. There's look, they're really cool with their little teeny weeny, and they would fit in the center of your compact disc player, that hole like a donut hole. You drop this sucker in there, and it's just like a little tiny single.
I remember those, yeah.
45 records. And then here's another Beatles. I have Lady Madonna and The Inner Light and Let It Be.
What? Didn't they give them things away in cereal boxes or something?
No. But they did have, do you remember this, Danny? They had bubble gum. I love this gum. It tasted like the great Flair baseball card gum. It was delicious gum. But they had little record albums. And the record albums inside was bubble gum. But the album cover, the little case was in like a little.
I remember the bubblegum records, but yeah, they had the little CD singles, and you'd get them for free sometimes inside the center of a magazine, or with something else you'd buy, they'd come free. I just can't remember what it was.
That was a weird name. That Selection 2, You Know My Name, Look Up the Number. Have you heard that song, T.U.G, by the Beatles?
Probably, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
That's a strange song. A Ringo Starr is singing it.
I'll have to ask my father-in-law. He'll tell me.
Oh, it's a cool song. I'm gonna listen to this after the show, actually, because I haven't heard it in a while, and I love that song. It's very bizarre. So let me.
All right. Button.
So let's go. T.U.G should talk.
Yeah. I've got a good one. Like the one lost media story that just always blows my mind is that in the early 80s, NASA decided to delete and record over all of their original broadcast of the Apollo 11.
Yes.
Right?
Ooh. Yes.
So
the original movement, you're like, yeah, we don't need to see works. We did it, I swear to God. And
it's gone. They managed to find a recording of a recording down in Australia, from some weird Super 8 film. And that's the footage that you see. Today, if you see Apollo 11 footage, you see that. And it's really grainy and really crappy. The actual original footage wasn't that grainy and crappy. It was actually a lot clearer.
You want to update for that story?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm not sure where. I think it was Chicago, up north, somewhere like Chicago. They were tearing down a restaurant, and I believe it was a McDonald's. And in the basement of that McDonald's, they've actually recovered NASA films and stuff, and now they're in They're trying to get the machines to see exactly what it is, but they think it is the Apollo stuff.
Oh, that would be
And it
cool.
was actually found in a basement of a restaurant. That was being tore down, and somebody happened to look in a box and say, "These looks important. Let's call somebody." And that's the only reason they got saved.
That's wild.
That's happened this year, I think.
Yeah, I haven't heard that yet, so that's
Look,
very cool.
I just heard it recently somewhere on some news show or something.
Well, I hope that pans out. I'd love to see like the original, like at least a clearer version of the Apollo 11 tapes.
Right.
I mean,
I want to say hi to Eric, and I want to say hi to Daz and Jim's and Harold and let's see here. I recorded earlier Lobo and Keebler. I think I'm caught up now. Physicals in here. Good to see you guys. And also, I still have internet. And also, hi Kiss. Good to see you, brother. Always good to see you. Yes.
Okay, I got it. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
On July 21st, 2017, 2 huge Apollo-era NASA computers and more than 300 of their data recordings were found in a Pittsburgh basement. These are believed to be the original Apollo moon landing videos. They are in the process of being converted.
man,
Oh, cool.
That's from one of them .com websites called space.com.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay. One of those.
I don't do the internet thing. I just do the YouTube thing. So it's weird when I have to go on some stupid website thing and go through a bunch of crap to read a story for 2 minutes.
Wow. Hey, Corey, yes, the VHS tapes are worth a lot of money today, especially if it's a beloved film like Star Wars, the original VHS tapes. Yeah, and people get them graded. They get video games and VHS tapes now graded and slabbed.
Well, I got all them too. I got all the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can get them in the collector's box. Yeah, all that stuff.
Kind of takes the fun out of putting it in a VCR though if you send a sealed in carbonite.
Yeah.
I hope Danny ain't listening. I don't want to make him mad. No.
Hey, Ricky. Hopefully Snarky will be here too. She's our buddy. Hello to Dawes241. I'm sure Sarah's already said hey to you. But hello to our friend Jim on B.B.B's, my co-panelist on B.B.B's channel Saturday night. Ricky's Radio.
I have said hi to everybody.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, I didn't.
Well, yeah, I know, but you said my name I bet you did. I'm like, yeah, I did.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I can always be in my chat and on the phone with you. Otherwise, everything else is it's not going to happen today. He goes, and there you go.
I couldn't understand a word you just said. Corey's comedy channel says, "Do you think the floppy disk will ever come back in style?" I used a couple of those before. No, I don't think it will. I sold my working VCR a few years ago. Says keep. Go ahead, dear. It's your show.
You know, you old when you played video games on floppy disk.
I did that. 1987. Sure did.
I remember like you'd get a really big game, like one of those like King's Quest 3 or something, and you'd have to like have multiple discs, and you'd have to like switch it
Like
out.
when you're talking about, it's like a 4-disc set.
Yeah. I loved those.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sad. I know that.
And I still know that like the regular floppy disk is only 164K, right?
Somewhere here, there's a box with some floppy disk in it that I'll never use again.
Wow. Keebler
Just like the VHSs. Just like the 10,000 DVDs I never put in a machine and don't even turn on because I watch stuff on digital.
Right.
I don't trust digital.
Same here. The streaming gods, it's a shell game. What streams today may not stream tomorrow. If it's something you love, own it.
That's just it. If it's something I really want, I buy it on DVD. And then
you can digitize it yourself.
Just so the one day comes that I actually want to watch it and I can't digitally download it, I'll have the physical media. But I never use it right now. It just sits there. Like my CDs for music. I got bukus of them. I hadn't put a CD in there and listened to a song on a CD in 10 years.
I just had to bring this up again because somebody mentioned zip disks. Since it was the very beginning of the stream, I think some of you may have missed it. My wife made this like right after we got married. And it's just like a lot of the classic digital storage that we grew up with. Zip disk, mega disk, the big old 8-inch floppy, which only held 175K apparently. Yeah.
And required a special hard drive adaptation in your computer to run it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was a pain in the butt.
That's cool. That's really cool that she put that together for you, man. That's awesome.
Oh, it's so awesome. Yeah, I keep it on my wall.
Keebler says, I sold my working VCR a few years ago and all of my working VHS. I had boxes of them. Ooh. Now these hipsters, these Gen Zers are collecting that stuff, and some of them go for big money. Yeah.
No whammies.
No whammies. That's right. Mr. Larson. Michael Larson. Press your luck. The scandal. It wasn't even a scandal. He memorized a pattern and figured it out.
He just hacked it with his brain.
Mm-hmm. And he was an ice cream truck driver. He wasn't a PhD or anything.
Yeah.
Pretty bright guy to figure that
Just
out.
had a little ASD, you know.
He got a VHS. He recorded the shows and he figured out the pattern and wrote it down. And he broke the record, I think. No, the record was tic-tac-toe at that point, but he came close to it. A naval officer, Tom McKee, held the record until, who do you think broke the game show record that Tom McKee held from 1980 until 2004? That would be Ken Jennings on Jeopardy. In his
I was about to say, it was probably that Jeopardy guy, yeah.
Ken Jennings. Oh.
I would say it probably was a chance, that's for sure.
No, because I auditioned for Wheel of Fortune. They tried to call me 3 times, and I missed the calls. Hey, TD's in the house in Ohio State. The lovely TD.
Yeah.
And
my brother was on Double Dare.
Really?
Yeah.
Hosted by whom? Who was the host at the time?
Ah, God, what was his name?
Ray Combs? Was it Ray Combs or no?
No, that's not it. I gotta look it up because that's gonna bug me. I should know his name.
My ex's family was on Springer. Does that count?
Well, that explains everything you want to hear then. Yes. Okay.
Mark Summers.
Yes. Good stuff. That was a cool show.
Yeah, I mean, like, I grew up in Orlando, so, like, we had Nickelodeon Studios basically just right across the street. So he went in, auditioned, and he got in. I went in, and I didn't get on any of the shows, but I did get slimed. So that was fun.
Oh, how cool. What was that like? Like, how long did it take? How many showers did you have to take to get that stuff out of your hair?
It was a couple of times. I had to take a couple of showers because it's basically just corn syrup. So it's really, really like sticky and really gets in there.
TD says, so I'm cleaning out my parents' house and they have a working 8-track player and some 8-tracks.
Wow.
Hello, Jim. Hello, Lobo. Hey, Chance. Yeah, and that's one of my picks. I totally misunderstood what tonight's show was about. Hey, I love talking about lost things like the NASA mission that we talked about and other stuff. Hey, let's talk about Johnny Carson. Talk about tapes getting erased. When Johnny Carson was in New York City, most of, if not all of the videotapes were erased. There's some kinescopes that exist. Talk about lost media. Kinescope, you know what that is, Tug, where someone took a 16mm camera in a studio. Jackie Gleason did this with his Jackie Gleason show and his Honeymooner skits. And they literally would film a monitor that the studio audience could watch so they could see what was going on, the people in the back. And that's what that was. That's why it looks very weird and shadowy. It's literally just a film recording of a monitor. That's what a kinescope is. And they would use that to show live shows coast to coast back in the day. And I forgot my point about that, but it'll come back to me.
You're talking about them erasing all the Johnny Carson tapes.
Oh, Johnny Carson. Yes, thank you. So there are some kinescopes of those Johnny Carsons that got erased, but most of them are just gone. And that's the biggest tragedy. And a lot of game shows were also lost because of that process of, hey, let's save a buck. Let's just erase this tape with what we're producing today. And so a lot of stuff was lost. That talk about lost media. Those lost Johnny Carsons would be gold when he was in New York before he left for the West Coast.
Yeah, they just didn't see the value in preservation for like TV. Like they just didn't even occur to them to be.
What do you expect from people from New York?
I was born in White Plains, New York. I was only there a week though, As soon as mom can get us.
You got out, so you're one of the good ones.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas, and then I've been in Atlanta since I was 2. So thank you, TD. That's actually one of my picks. Let me show a picture of an 8-track player. Where are you, my little
You show a
friend?
picture of an 8-track player. That's hilarious.
There it is.
The Who, of course.
As you show prep. There you go, TD. There's an 8-track player and 8-track of one of my favorite bands, The Who, live at Leeds.
It's even got the wood cabinet and everything. That's perfect.
I love it. Let me take her comment off so you can see a little bit more of the photograph. And I'll get back to your comments. I know I'm way behind. Well, there's not much more to show. I'll leave her comment up. Yeah, look at that. Left channel, right channel, left volume, right volume. Good stuff. Truckers loved the 8-track, man. And there was a little toy, too, that would quiz you with an 8-track. XL5. Remember the XL5 toy? Anybody out there? So there's your 8-track.
I don't know about the XL5, but the thing that sticks out to me is I remember when in like 1973, when I was 8 years old, in my mama's living room was this great, big, giant, long wooden thing that looked like a cedar chest, and it was up to my waist. And you open it up, and it had 2 little things on top of it. You'd open it up, and on one side would be a record player. And right in the middle was a cassette deck and an 8-track player. And then on the other end was all the radio stuff you could tune in to listen to the radio. You got a little switch you could flip back and forth between whichever one you were using. I remember we wore that thing out in the 70s.
I bet. Hey, TD says, you guys, she said the B word, my boyfriend has a like-new VCR and DVD combo. I'm selling it at his garage sale. I want to buy it. I have one. I need a backup because I'm converting a lot of my video. No, seriously.
That's one good girlfriend. She goes through all your. That's one good girlfriend. She goes through all your stuff and sells it.
But I'm serious.
Me of my ex.
TD, I'm going to make an offer because I need a backup. Mine's a Toshiba from 2009, and it's starting to get glitchy, and I that's a priceless piece of equipment for my purposes. So please, don't let me comment in the chat. I think I can't hear anyone. Sarah, say something.
I'm still here.
Oh my gosh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear Tug. Good.
Good.
Of course I'd hear you. That was a dumb question. You're on a phone. My phone.
Yeah.
Hear the rest of us.
Right?
I can. I hear you, Dan. All right, because there's been a glitch on StreamYard. Have you experienced this, Tug, where all of a sudden you can't hear your panelist?
No, that hasn't happened to me yet.
It might just be my computer.
It won't.
Yeah, I love that.
You must be using a Mac, Tug. I'm using a Microsoft product.
No, I'm using a Microsoft product, unfortunately.
I don't know, man. Listen, whatever you're using doesn't have a D key. That's the problem.
Hey, Harold. The D key. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What she's talking about.
I know.
Yeah, I typed so hard that the D key flew off my keyboard, and I got a picture of that, too. Yeah, see the D key, it's gone. And look how I've worn, because I'm obsessed with putting rubbing alcohol because of COVID on my hands. And so the shift key, see how that's worn on the left there? That's from rubbing alcohol on my fingers and from typing too hard. There's actually some crack keys, but look, and my it looks so nasty, all that dust. I cracked it. And not only did I crack it when I flew it off because I was typing so darn hard, but now my D key doesn't work.
You know, most of us don't type with a hammer, you know?
It was really an epic fail.
And you need to get one of these, man.
Yeah. Well, let me see. What? Is that a remote keyboard? What'd you hold up? I couldn't see.
No, this is just like a canned air, like to clean out the space between your keys.
You can see all that dust, and that's pretty gross. Yeah, it's probably like my old skin. Yeah. So gross.
All right. That's the last video we can do without. Okay, cool.
Oh, I don't have. I was going to play my Price is Right, but that's on my StreamYard. I'm on yours. I haven't loaded it to Sarah's.
Good. I really want you to. I really want to thank you for that. Now I have to go sterilize my laptop.
Yeah. Right.
Who?
Oh,
I'm going to clean something now. Now I'm noticing little stuff between my keys and stuff.
Oh, yeah, man. It's really gross in there if you don't clean it every once in a while.
I better. Yeah, that can of air. I use
Who do you hire to do that? Are they somebody you can pay to do that so you don't have to do it?
I mean, it really just depends on your keyboard. But I mean, if you just get a canned air like this, like you can just, it has like a little nozzle that you can stick in between the keys and just like spray, and it works great.
You know, a funny thing is I've never even heard of a can of air. That's a buy a can of air.
Haven't you seen Spaceballs?
You buy a can of air.
Perrier, man. Yeah.
Hey, we were talking about lost media. I think the next week preview is kind of a lost piece of media. We talked about how the Star Trek 1 minute next week preview would be in the original VHS release, and then they took it out. I'm going to play just 5 seconds of it. I know Sarah's in copyright trouble, but I'm just going to literally just show 5 seconds of the preview. Should be okay, Sarah. Are you there, Sarah?
Yes, I'm here.
Here is what the next week preview looked like.
Got him on complete life support. Was he dead? Jim. Come on, Bones, what's the mystery? His brain is gone. What have you done with Spock's brain?
Brain and brain, what is brain?
There we go.
Brain and brain, what is brain?
From one of the worst Star Treks of all time.
Thrash's favorite episode, yeah.
Wait a minute. See,
Terrible.
you keep saying it's the worst. I guarantee you it's not. Okay.
It's not the worst, man. The one where like Kirk switches bodies with a woman, that's the worst episode.
Turnabout Intruder, the very last
Turnabout Intruder. Yeah.
preempted, by the way, when its original airing.
Never mind.
What? Go ahead. Sarah, please.
I forgot already. Yeah, no, I already forgot. I had a point to make about it, and I forgot. Because,
I think you were saying it couldn't possibly be that bad.
Oh, yeah, talking about Spock's brain. Does that help? Brain and brain. What is brain? You've lost your brain.
Yeah. Because, see, if it weren't for that episode existing, right? And then me watching the one episode at one time of, oh my God, what is that fucking show called? What would you do if oh, fuck me, that song. God damn, I can't do that fucking show. Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to shut up now. Never mind.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Oh my God. You know what? Sure, close enough. Fuck it. Move on. Joe B, what do you have to say about anything?
Chrissy.
Yeah.
Sarah's asking what you have to say about what we're talking about.
Okay, well, now that I've heard the conversation for a little bit, I'm up to par. So does anybody remember, like, the Wicked Witch on Sesame Street?
Yes.
Yes.
They banned all of that. Like.
Yeah, because it scared children. Yeah.
And then do you guys remember the TV show is a series called Manimal?
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was a terrible show.
Yeah.
We talked about how terrible that show was.
Lasted 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Yeah. Like, he bubbled up and, like, got all crazy and way worse than the Incredible Hulk. It was freaky for me as a kid. Like, I was doing okay.
It was when he turned into a panther. It would be. I can see. It actually was spooky. Yeah.
I was like, Grandma, why it got boiled?
I have a question though here, actually, Chance. It kind of goes with that because Manimal morphs and shit, right?
Yeah.
Maya, right? When she's sitting there changing form and all this shit.
Maya the Metamorph in season 2 of Space 1999, played by Catherine Schell. Just in case no one knows what she's talking about. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, right. So what he said, I was going somewhere with that, but now I forgot again.
When she transformed into what, a bird?
Her clothes. Yeah, her clothes. I mean, how's her outfit is always he does that too. I don't get it. You know what? I was going somewhere with the shit and I forgot now. Fuck me. Moving on.
God, I can't understand. Manimal did last 8 episodes. It ran from September 30th, 1983, when a 90-minute pilot aired as a movie of the week. Ended on December 17th, 1983. Didn't even make it to 1984.
And I actually remember that show. I remember thinking it was cool and wondering what happened to it when it was gone.
It had tough competition. I forget the show. My TV Bible will tell me. Someone else say something, Tug. I'm going to get my TV Bible and tell you what it was up against.
Well, okay. I can talk about like old movies that are lost. The very first Japanese giant monster movie, which was actually a King Kong movie. The King Kong that appeared in Edo, I think is what it's called. That's a lost media that has been lost to time, but it's like the very first movie that featured like a man in a suit, and it was like a giant monkey suit.
Actually, some of the really old silent movies featuring Lon Chaney have been lost, and there's
there's the really famous one. What's it called? What's it called? I was looking at it earlier. Hold on. London After Midnight, the first vampire movie, also lost.
I've only seen pictures from that movie.
Yeah,
Like
most people alive have only seen pictures of it because the movie itself is gone.
Now, once again, there's rumors that a copy of that still exists in like Germany or something.
Well, the problem with movies that are that old is that they were usually filmed with nitrite, and like that degrades over time. So even if you do find it, like they recently found, I think it was like 15 years ago recently, they found like Metropolis in somewhere in Germany. And the new footage that they found that wasn't in the old cut, it looks like garbage. It's barely watchable. But Kino Lorber did their best to like digitally remaster it and splice it in.
And I think Turner Classic Movies showed that footage remastered.
Yeah. I mean, it's passable. It's fine, but like you can tell that it was about to be completely lost. Like if they don't find it soon, it's gone. They used to do this thing where they would store the films in salt mines, because in the salt mine there'd be no humidity and it would preserve it for a lot longer. The nitrate wouldn't degrade as quickly. But outside of a salt mine, your odds of it surviving decrease rapidly within just like 2 or 3 decades.
What year did they quit using nitrate film and go to regular film? Do you know?
It's a fire hazard from hell.
That was in the 40s?
Know. I think probably the 40s, yeah.
Al Hardy would know and Tom Williams would know, yeah. Oh, guys, Manimal. You know why it didn't succeed?
You know, actually, I think it might be a little bit earlier than that because I remember that somebody's talking about the film from the 33 Olympics when it was in Germany's on regular film.
Yeah, I mean, like with any technological advance, it was probably like over the course of like 15 years, probably. Bless you.
Thank you.
And no, Keebler, it wasn't Dracula in 1931. The first vampire movie is London After Midnight, featuring Lon Chaney. It's from like 27, I want to say. And yeah, that's a lost movie. It's unless it's in a salt mine somewhere, it's gone.
So nitrate was retired from cameras and laboratories in 1951 to 1952.
Wow, so later than we thought.
Hazard. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, a lot of that stuff would burn, like real bad.
Oh gosh, yeah. Absolutely. Hey, real quick, guys, Manimal. You know why it didn't do well? It was on Friday night at 9 opposite Dallas.
Oh, Dallas would get everything.
That's way better. That's for sure.
And then the last one, NBC said, let's move it to Saturday night. They put it against the Love Boat. And that was it.
Remember this. Hey, remember this. When it was running, the reason I got to see Manimal is because Dallas had reruns on.
There you are.
And I didn't see this. Let me flip around, and that's how I found Manimal. I remember that.
I love Loretta.
And A London After Midnight come out in 1927.
I was right, 27. Wow, look at me. Like I said, I looked it up earlier today.
Sarah.
Yes?
You got to check your pulse there. You're not talking. Let's see.
I think she's just really
sorry,
high.
I was, and you guys were just talking over me, so I was like, I keep forgetting I'm on the phone.
Ricky's Radio. I'm a millennial, but I'm also a Gen X because I was born before the internet. I know what it's like to use dial-up and old devices. Ricky!
To touch on something Sarah said, they had that big Metro Golden Vault fire in 1965.
Yeah.
And that was where the last known copy of London After Midnight was destroyed in that fire that Sarah was talking about earlier.
That makes sense.
June 1st, 2008, Universal.
No. Yeah, the one that Sarah was talking about was 2008, but the one he's talking about was in the 60s.
Yeah,
1965. This is the first fire.
Okay.
There's been a lot.
You know, she said there have been several fires in movie studios. And the first one that I'm finding is 1965. But that's in 1965. That's the one where the final known copy of London After Midnight was burned up.
I'm pretty sure that was probably the worst in terms of losing films. Was that fire? Because of all the nitrate, nitrate, because it burns so easily.
There's actually a newsreel video of that huge fire on Turner Classic Movies. They show on the classic news stuff.
Right.
Did you?
As you can tell, I spent a lot of time watching Turner Classic Movies and the old movie channels.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that, man. I love that stuff.
I prefer old movies. I rather watch the black and white giant praying mantis movie than about anything made nowadays.
I mean, that's what I specialize in on my channel. So yeah, like
that's why I love the channel so much.
I do spend a lot of time in the 70s because those videos always do the best. Like, people just love 70s sci-fi. I'm running out of movies, actually. I've covered so many 70s movies, but I like to go as far back as I can, you know.
Look at Harold the Hatter's comment. Anyone remember comic books that came with a 45 record? So you could listen to the comic on the record player while you read. Yes. And I remember Starlog magazine had samples of records, and they would be on that thin plastic, and they'd be square, and you could punch them out to make it round. Remember that? Do you remember that, Tug? I know, Dan, you remember Starlog magazine. You have a whole YouTube channel about it. Remember how they would have, like, Neil Norman would compose covers of science fiction theme songs from movies and TV shows. And they had a couple times where they had given a sample. That was cool. It wouldn't work that well. You had to, because it was such thin vinyl. It wasn't like a thick plastic. Anyway.
Yeah, and a lot of magazines did that. I remember some Mad magazines having some really funny comedy records in them. There was this one song I definitely remember called "Making Out," and it was a Star Wars thing. It said, "The only thing, all I'm making out is everybody's making out but me."
I know. Harold, look up the Golden Record reprint of Fantastic Four 1 and Avengers 4. These key books. They've wreaked havoc in the collector community because a lot of unscrupulous people would sell the Golden Record reprint of Fantastic Four 1 from 1966. The original book came out in August 61, but in 66, the Golden Record reprint came out. The difference was it didn't have a 10-cent price tag. So you can spot the reprint. Go ahead.
Somewhere back there, I've actually got a couple of the Star Trek little 45s comic book and record sets.
Yeah, behind me, Space 1999. Story with records in the background there. Anyway,
that's cool.
Oh,
I think we compared once and had the same Spider-Man record.
We do. I should get that. It's about Man-Wolf, that's J. Jonah Jameson's astronaut son. He goes to the moon and he encounters a moon rock, and it transforms him into a werewolf.
Yep.
Of course.
What a cool story, though.
Oh, I know. And later he had the moonstone in his neck, and it had to be extracted or ripped out of his neck in Spectacular Spider-Man Annual 3, I believe, or Annual 2. Annual 2. It was Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man Annual 2. And he's right there on the cover. J. Jonah Jameson's son, John Jameson. There's
so is Trophy around this gibberish of thought? I just realized for life.
Chance, you crack me up. 9:45. I'm going to mark that, and I'll have to play it back and see what the heck That's pretty good, because Corey has a refined sense of humor. If I can make that man laugh, then I must have been on a roll about something, I guess. Let's see. Tug, do you have any other obsolete lost media you want to talk about, or anybody?
Sure. One that I always want to see, because 2001 is one of my favorite movies of all time. All the extra footage that Kubrick had made for 2001, like his original cut was an extra like 30 minutes long. Apparently, it's a lot of repetitive scenes and is actually just makes the movie even more boring for like most people who think the movie is boring. But I personally would love it because I don't find 2001 boring. The problem is Stanley Kubrick was such a perfectionist, and he wanted his vision to be like just the way it was. He literally burned the film himself. Like, he destroyed it himself. And the idea of that, of like burning your own creation, just that really bothers my brain a lot. I can't handle the thought of taking, like, I save everything that I mean, I'm a writer by trade, and like, well, not really by trade, but that's what I do. And like, I've saved every single thing I've written ever. Like, I've got like really horrible angsty poetry from when I was like 15 saved on my computer and my hard drive and on a cloud. You know, I'm meticulous about saving all of that. There's nothing that I want to burn. Like, so yeah.
Except for those things that you said you took down from your child that nobody would miss or something.
Hey, Tug, how do you become a published author? Do you get a literary agent and then they shop around to publishers? Is that how it works? I would love to write a book.
I mean, look, writing is easy. Getting published is hard. Yeah, if you want to go the traditional route, you got to get an agent. And the best way to get an agent is either to know somebody or to go to a bunch of writers' conferences and have like one-on-ones with an agent where you basically have to elevator pitch. You have to like have your book known backwards and forwards and spit it out in 40 words within like 5 minute, a 5-minute session with an agent. And based on that 5 minute, the agent may or may not request your manuscript and then may or may not read your manuscript and then may or may not decide to, represent you. So like, it's a crapshoot and it's really, really difficult to get that far. I became a published author because I just went to Amazon and said, screw it. I was done with the publishing industry.
Right.
I had been knocking my head against that wall for 20 years and I was done. So yeah, I've self-published and I made the mistake of not marketing it ahead of time. I just had hit print and let it be done instead of, like going through a longer process, getting professional cover work done and all that stuff. But before I publish my next book, I will be doing all of that. And I will hopefully have enough of an audience on YouTube that I can start shilling to them 6 months in advance to build up anticipation and pre-orders and all that stuff. But yeah, if you want to go the traditional route, get an agent and good luck.
Thank you. I always get ripped off. I'll just put it out there. I don't care. I want to do a children's book and I have an artist in mind and it's about my bunny rabbit and finding her. I found her when I was out for a walk in the lake. I rescued this bunny rabbit who was abandoned and it's going to be called Baby the Bunny. And I think it'd be a really good, I have the whole story in my head. I can see the images. I just need someone to draw them. I can draw, I can do pen and ink, but I'm not a very great artist. So I would want a professional artist to do it right. By the way, London After Midnight, Keebler texted me. She found it at archive.org. London After Midnight, Lon Chaney, free download. Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't. I
found it. And Sarah, I asked her to text.
But
Sarah,
it's not that download is not the entire movie. It's only
it's probably just what
patched together clips like what were trailers back in the day.
Let's see. I'm clicking the link. I don't have your contact info yet, Tug, so I asked her to text it to Sarah, and Sarah can send it to you. Internet Archive.
Oh, let me do that right now. That's what you want me to do? Fuck, I was totally.
Please. It's
confused.
had 2,582.
I was confused.
I mean, you have to, the second. Just I wanted Tug and Dan to have it. They may not be. This isn't YouTube. This is a different site. This is an actual government website. So there might be more.
They might, like I said, they were copies a couple of years ago. I've heard about copies of that movie, and maybe they remastered them and got them now. Yeah. My information's old.
I just want to pay attention to what you guys are talking about. There's difference. So.
I don't see a length. I'm looking for a. Oh well.
I know. I've seen on Turner Classic Movies like a 12-minute thing where they showed some clips from that movie but they only exist because they were attached to other movies as trailer kind of things. For upcoming
what you usually see, like for old lost movies like that, is that people will try to reconstruct based on just still images, or they'll like filter it through like an AI to try to like sort of kind of make it look like what it was supposed to look like. You get a lot of that. Like I've seen a lot of movies done that way, like reconstructed out of old lost media. It never works great, but sometimes it gives you enough of an impression of what the movie was like that it's worth having. Like it's worth doing. It's worth it for people to do it. I'm not opposed to it. Because that's all you got. It's better than nothing, right?
That's right. And this was uploaded to the government website on December 20th, 2022. December 22nd, 2022.
Well, that could actually be the movie if they did in fact find it and were able to digitize it. Yeah.
That's cool. So, Sarah, I mean, after the show, please send it to Tug. I don't have his contact info.
She sent it. I got it.
I already did.
And Dan, I'm sure Dan wants it too.
I already just sent it to him too.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're right. I just didn't know what you guys were saying, and that's why I was like, wait, what do you want me to do? And then I did it.
Hey, panel.
I got it.
Thank you. Hey, panel. Keebler also mentioned who remembers microfiche. Yes, at libraries. That's how you could store newspaper and magazine articles. They would be scans, basically, and it would be on film. And I loved microfiche. It's obsolete media. That's a good lost media, Keebler.
Yeah, I was right. I just scanned through it real fast, and it's not the movie. It's a bunch of stills with the storyline.
Yeah, it's that reconstruction.
It's not even got the 15 seconds of actual footage that exists in it. It's just stills. Because there's like 15 seconds of footage that was an original, the original kind of trailer they used to do called Upcoming Features. And one of the other movies of the time had the upcoming feature on the front of it. And you can see like 13 or 14 seconds of it, of him wearing that top hat and creeping around that. And that's all that I know that exists. And it would shock me that, like I said, I heard there was another copy in Germany, but I don't think it's been uploaded or mastered or anything. It's in a private collection.
Oh yeah, these rich guys, they've got all the good stuff, man. Like Action Comics #1 that sold for like over $6 million.
I've got a friend that lives in Australia who has quite a bit of vintage stuff like that.
And the Boba Fett firing action figure sold for $500,000 last weekend. I heard it on BK on the air.
He's got a lot of stuff because he bought it from me.
My brother-in-law knows. My brother-in-law works at the #1 toy grading company, which is based here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. He told me the story. Someone at Kenner Toys, an employee back then, had one. And there's only 2 that are actually hand painted. Only 2 are left that are hand painted. And so, and it was a choking hazard because Battlestar Galactica released a Cylon Raider, which had firing rockets, and some child choked and died right when they were going to release Boba Fett. So Kenner Toy says, we got to put the brakes on this. And they had a little disclaimer explaining why they had to make the change. And Trivia, do you know where Boba Fett first debuted in terms of media?
Yes.
No, don't. You know, yes. Not my flock. I want to know if T.U.G or Dan or B.B.B. Tell him, Sarah.
He first made his debut on the holiday special.
The Star Wars holiday special.
Oh, the holiday special, of course. In the animated form. Yeah. I should have known.
My brother, you know how when a toy company makes a toy, they'll make 3 or 4 different ones to have like as demo models to pick from, which one they're going to produce. I forget what you call it. Prototypes. And they'll make like 4 or 5 prototypes, and then they'll choose the one they're going to use and make the toy from it. My brother-in-law actually has some of the original Star Wars toy prototypes. That the other ones they didn't make. It's like one of a kind stuff.
I can't believe there's something they didn't make because they made some really obscure action figures of obscure characters. Yeah.
You know what's funny is
he's got a Chewbacca. He's got a Chewbacca they didn't make because he's got Chewbacca. He's got big giant Chewbacca junk.
Listen, T.U.G, we've got to talk about this lost piece of footage. This is a real mystery. Moonraker, right? Moonraker. Right. Jaws with the steel teeth. He meets a girl in Moonraker. She smiles big at him. Me and a lot of people remember she had
Mandela effect, man.
No, I don't care what you say. That bitch had braces.
I had pulled up my laser disc. I looked at every original form of media, VHS, the original release, long before George Lucas in '97 doing his special editions and altering this, altering that. No braces. There's a theory. Someone claims on Facebook, one of my mutual friends, that there was a television version with an alternate take where she had braces, and that's why we remember seeing it was on ABC TV. I don't know if that's true. Why would they do that, though? Why would they have? I know we both know they had TV versions of movies.
Like they did that in the '80s a lot. Yeah.
A lot.
I'm gonna look that up because let me tell you something. I saw it in the theater. I saw every James Bond movie in the theater religiously. Some of them more than once, especially the ones with Connery. You know, my family was big Sean Connery guys. You know, they took me to every Sean Connery movie, but I kept on going, and I liked Roger Moore a lot. And I definitely, no matter what anybody tells me, remember that scene at the bottom of that sky lift thing after it crashes, and they get off and they look at each other, and he smiles with his big braces and she smiles with her big braces, and they glisten in the sun. And no matter what you tell me, I remember that.
I do too. And that's the crazy. But why would there not be a print in existence for home video?
I even remember my little sister looked up at me in the theater and said, if they kiss, their braces are going to get locked up.
Now, hold on. I'm going to share. Let me see if I can share this with you. This is just a picture about what we're talking about.
Mandela.
Hey, B.B.B. Hello, Chrissy.
Yay.
Did I just scream in your ear? Okay. What's up, Chrissy? We can't hear you. Oh, she needs a drink.
I said I just made it home.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I'm going to try to upload something about this topic, about the steel teeth. This is interesting.
Can you hear me again?
Yes. Take it away.
Good. Because apparently if I'm on mute, you guys can't hear me, and that goes with phone calls too, so who knew? All right. So, Josie, I guess you're home now, so you're not in your car. Welcome.
Thank you.
I will shut up.
Me.
I just want to show this. While we're talking about the Moonraker, before we get too far away, someone pointed out this article. This is a movie review, and it's kind of small. You got to be watching on a TV. But this critic mentions the braces on her teeth in that article. Now, that could be faked. That could be Photoshopped. This could be fake. I'm not trying to blow this thing out of proportion. I just think it's an interesting piece.
It could also just be a weird, like, memory quirk in that, like, you want her to have braces, right? It's funnier that way. It makes more sense that way. So, like, your brain just wants that to be true. I wasn't around to see it in the movie theater. I mean, I was alive, but I didn't go to see it in the movie theater. So if there was a version that had braces, I haven't seen it. But I'm willing to believe it. But I'm also willing to believe that it's just a quirk of memory.
But that TV version is a viable theory because
it is a viable theory. Yeah.
Movie National Lampoon's Vacation, they shot alternate scenes because they couldn't say the F-bomb and things and show the things they were showing in the theater in an R-rated movie on TV. And by the way, that would be PG-13 if PG-13 existed.
Yeah, it didn't exist yet.
Yeah, it probably would be PG-13. But there it is. So that anyone, this could be a fake, but there's evidence that there were braces on her teeth in the theatrical version. I contend it's a TV version, a possible alternate take. But why would they do that? Maybe they thought somebody said, well, let's have her have braces just on TV. I mean, it's possible. Anyway.
They did a lot of weird stuff with the TV versions. Like there was a TV version of E.T. that had just completely random differences. Like they would just like use alternate shots for no reason. Like why is that different? Like it's the same length, it's the same content, it's just from a slightly different angle. Like why?
Maybe okay, here's the fact. The alternate scenes Moonraker does exist. It has alternate scenes featuring Drax, some stuff with financiers in an Amazon lair, and several scenes with Bond and Holly on the launch pad that did not appear in the original theatrical release. It does not say nothing about nobody having no braces or nothing.
I'd love to get my hands on that. I mean, I can't believe no one's put that on YouTube. No one recorded it with Betamax or VHS back in 19.
And if you want to watch it, you got to agree to a bunch of crap, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to send me that link, Danny Staton.
Yeah, like I know how to do all that. Google it. That's what I did.
All right, I'll Google it. I've been researching this because the jury's. Look, this is the kind of stuff that gets
the important questions, man. Yeah, I'm with you.
I have an excess phone beside me. I can mute it and Google any facts real quick, so I don't look totally like a freaking idiot. Because I don't trust my memory.
Guess who turned 79 today? Panel. Adrian Barbeau.
Oh, nice.
Comment off. That's a funny comment from Corey. He says, I've been working. He's talking about a literary agent. I have an agent. Now he wants 10% of my unemployment check.
I had the biggest crush on her when I was a young person.
Who did take
that off? If she never won.
And I mean, that crush went back to watching her on Maude.
If she,
if
she never
that was
won.
this one show where she was doing a burlesque thing on Maude. I don't know if you ever saw it, but if you did, you'd have fell in love from that day on.
Corey, if you're still out there, if she never won Golden Globes, that's a travesty. She should have won a Golden Globe award. Wow.
She should have won 2 of them.
Yeah.
One for each boob.
Yeah.
I was doing innuendos.
No, my first exposure to her was Swamp Thing, where you see those globes. Nice.
And Creep Show. Remember, she had that terrible.
Yeah, and Creep Show. Yeah. And also, of course, Escape from New York. Yeah.
With her husband John Carpenter. Yeah.
Yep.
She was doing the director. Yeah. Huh?
I need to, why are you clapping, Chance?
Was it annoying you? Sorry, I won't do it. I'm just excited. It's the Pepsi.
No, it's just okay. I got a delay going on here because I'm on the phone and I'm watching you on the YouTube. So when you're clapping, it's like a delay, and I'm like, what happened?
Oh, you're getting an echo. Yeah, okay.
Can't read chat. I'm trying.
I'm getting an echo. It's a delay. So I see.
Oh, I get you.
That's why I heard her clapping. It's hilarious.
Oh, I get you. A delay. Yeah.
Hey, Sarah, do you realize you sound like you're talking to us from Mars? Neil Armstrong sounded better broadcasting from the moon than you do.
And she's hard to hear with in the first place. It's hard to understand. It's like this is hard to deal with a little bit. But I'm glad you're here on your own show.
Hey, Sarah, for a minute there, you sounded like an Ewok.
And also, sorry.
That guy's wise.
Jim agrees. She had braces. Jim's camera.
She had braces. I swear she had braces.
I know, man.
Right?
A lot of people do, man. It's not just you. And I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. Like I said, it's entirely possible. I believe it.
You don't know how many arguments I've had on live streams with Dr. Wu about this.
I believe you.
I'm going to smoke some weed, so you guys keep talking.
I think you've smoked enough, but well, that's not true. There's no such thing. I don't know.
I
what to
wish
say.
I had some.
I did too, man. But I've grown up.
Listen,
Worst decision I ever made growing up.
Again.
Hey, Mama
I
Dingo.
ain't got no weed, but I got a lot of vodka. Ha ha ha.
I mean, I got some whiskey.
Woody Woodpecker. That's your Woody Woodpecker impression? Hey, I watched a cartoon, the prototype to Bugs Bunny. The prototype to Bugs Bunny did the doggone Woody Woodpecker laugh. 1937 black and white cartoon. I saw it on MeTV's
Nice.
Tune In With Me. And he's more like Daffy Duck and Woody Woodpecker than Bugs Bunny, the original prototype to Bugs Bunny. Speaking of prototypes, I have a prototype, Indiana Jones, the Pinball Adventure, 1993 Williams game, 6-ball multi-ball.
Cool.
It's got the voices of the actors, and it has a lot of differences. It's a lot of differences that are not in the arcade version. Steel, where they use cheap plastic down the line. I gotta invite you guys over to play it. It has 3 video games in it too, a shell game, and it has a gun. Instead of pulling a plunger to release the ball, there's a gun, and you pull the trigger, boom, and it releases the ball. It's a fun game, and they have it at Disneyland. Or they used to have it when I was out there in 07 in the gift shop of the roller coaster Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Anyway, enough said. I'm sorry.
No, you mentioned Woody Woodpecker, one of my favorite.
All us guys have been running our mouths for a long time. Why don't we turn this thing over to Missy and let her tell us about all her lost media? Let her talk for a little while.
Good idea.
Because
I hold that thought about Woody Woodpecker.
The only reason she didn't get to go first is she wasn't here.
Before Tug forgets, what was he going to say about Woody Woodpecker real quick?
I was just going to say, the guy who created Woody Woodpecker was best friends with George Pal. So, like, anytime you watch a George Pal movie, somewhere in the movie, there is Woody Woodpecker. He is there. He's always there. You just have to find him. And I love doing that. It's like Where's Waldo?
I did not know that. That's fascinating. Yep. Wow.
In War of the Worlds, he's in the trees. In the Time Machine, he's actually in a lava pool, which is kind of funny. And Destination Moon, obviously, he's got like a whole 5-minute sequence with Woody Woodpecker. So on and so forth. It's great. It's like looking for Hitchcock, but harder.
And Mel Blanc voiced him originally, Woody Woodpecker.
That's true. Yeah.
All right, let's turn over to Chrissy. Now we can't hear her.
Yeah. Okay. You. So I remember, now this isn't my personal experience, but it was a personal experience that I remember my grandparents bringing up quite a bit when I was growing up. And my grandparents grew up in the Depression. So my grandma was born in 1926. My grandpa was born in 1925. And I remember them talking about some still cartoons that they used to be like when they were kids, when they were small kids. And I think it was made by Walt Disney, but it was like the Lucky Rabbit cartoons. Like, I remember them saying like Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, but they would say that was made by Walt Disney before Mickey Mouse.
That
And
sounds familiar.
yeah, and so she would tell me about how when they were kids that they would watch, but a lot of that media was lost. I think there's only like a few of those left, like in existence.
Not to interrupt, but it was called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit,
That's what she said.
1927, Disney through Universal.
Yeah, now that I see the picture from Googling, like, yeah, I've seen him all over the place. Yeah,
I said 37. Thank you for correcting me. 1927. Wow.
My grandparents were born in 1925, 1926. So they were telling me about when they were kids, how they would all get around to watch that cartoon.
Chrissy, will you read Corey's joke, please?
What do you call a woodpecker with no beak? A headbanger. That's comedy.
Awesome.
Corey's jokes would always come with a wonk, wonk, wonk at the end of them.
Or a drum riff.
That's his niche. That's his specialty. That's awesome.
I like his magic. His magic's really good too. Like, I love watching him do magic.
Love you back, brother. Love you back, brother.
So,
please subscribe to his channel if you haven't already. If you want to see some illusions and just hang out Sunday nights, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern.
Everybody can grab each other's channel. That's why everybody's got a wrench, so no one mom has to do everything because it's difficult. Yeah. Another of the day, there's that. Now, also, continue.
Or Tug.
Sorry, I just needed a second to send a work text. Oh. I'm still working.
You send a work text when you're still working, when you're supposed to not be working while you're working.
She's a woman in demand.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens when you run the North State Terminal.
Real quick here. Yesterday, I got my mom came by, dropped off a couple of packages that were sent to the new address, and so I want to say thank you to TD. I got your package. I sent you what I got, and I appreciate that. I was gonna upload the pictures onto the StreamYard to show you guys, but my internet went out, and then I couldn't do it. So there you go. And then I also want to thank Danny Staton. I got your package as well. I got the 2 magazines you sent me. That's freaking awesome. I really appreciate it as well.
Yeah, you sent me a picture. It's Cracked Magazine, Remind Magazine, one of my sponsors on my show, The Nostalgic. Very nice, Dan. Yep. And you sent things to Chrissy. I mean, I sent to Lobo the comic books for his grandson today, and tracking shows it's well on its way. So you may have it by Friday. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, so I wanted to say thank you to
nice.
and Dan for that. And then also, according to
Chrissy,
let me make you big. Get more packages than bombs. Just saying.
Look at that.
What we're all thinking.
We're showing Sarah these awesome Dell comic books that Danny Staton mailed to Chrissy. Brain Benders Banter YouTube channel that you see.
I'm not sure on the dates on them, but they got 10-cent covers. They're probably 40s.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
or early 50s.
I don't want to take them out of the thing, but it just says like up here, it says July to September, but it doesn't have a year, and I don't want to take them out of their protective thing.
You should though. Don't be
have
afraid.
1955 here, and this one is 1956.
Well, if the dates are right on the back of them, that means somebody or me had opened them and did that. I don't want to open them. I do that with some stuff, but I don't do that a lot. That's just the way they come. Somebody's done right on the back of them.
That's very generous of you. Those are cool painted covers.
I actually want to put them in a shadow box. Like, they're very special to me. I'm put them up by my grandpa.
They make these little frames for comic books that are really nice, but I was afraid to mail any of them because the last time I did, they got broken. Somebody got a box of glass and it damaged the books.
I don't
put frames no more.
I have my grandpa's military flag in a triangular from his, like they folded and over his coffin.
Yeah.
I got a couple of them.
Yeah, so I want to put him up there with that, like on each side of it, and make like a little memorial for him. I think that would be super cool.
That's so cool.
You know, I remember my grandpa being like a huge Bruce Lee fan too. And isn't there a movie that lost the media? Like the media was lost for his movie, like The Game of Death.
Oh,
I
he
don't know
never
about
finished it, and like
Yeah,
what happened was they had a stand-in come in. It was very much like Bela Lugosi in Plan 9. It was just like a lot of like not quite seeing his face, and it's obviously not Bruce Lee, but he's dressed like Bruce Lee. You know, like
You got to give Ed Wood credit though. He made some really cool movies to be as crappy as they are.
I love Ed Wood movies. They're horrible, but they're great.
I love them. I can't help it, man. I'd rather watch an Ed Wood movie than some of the crap they made today that involves. Well, never mind. We won't go there.
Yeah, you should remake Glenn or Glenda today and see how that goes.
Now, I know
They did, and they did it in a Chucky movie.
Did you see?
True.
Did you see
They
the movie?
remade it in a freaking Chucky movie, and even used the same name.
I like that Chucky movie. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think it's great because it's so
A lot of
unhinged.
people didn't get it because of the old movie cliche, Glenn and Glenda. They did not get that. I had to explain it to people.
Anyway, sorry, Chance, what were you saying?
Did you guys see the Ed Wood movie directed by Tim Burton?
Yeah, it's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know who won an
That's the
Oscar?
one with Johnny Depp.
Yes, you know who won an Oscar for
That's
that
a really
movie?
good movie.
Yeah.
You know who won an Oscar for that, don't you? Tug?
Yes, I do. Martin Landau.
Commander Koenig, Sarah. Space 19. We're on a Space 1999 kick, she and I.
Obviously. Yeah.
And, I love it. I love that he won an Oscar. Pull the string.
By the way,
this
every time I hear the
string,
word
this
Space 1999, I cringe.
What's that?
Every time I hear Space 1999, I cringe.
Why? Because we're overdoing it?
No, because I was supposed to get Star Trek toys that year, and they got me everything Space 1999 that ever existed, and I didn't get Captain Kirk, and it still sticks with me 50 years later.
Well, you know what? Whoa.
Hey, I got Captain Kirk.
Here he is.
I got so many Captain Kirks and Captain Picards, and I got a whole box full of Star Trek stuff somewhere in my closet.
Sorry, Diana. I
got so
nice,
much
awesome.
I
You gotta get her with the mouse, man.
I could start a Star Trek museum, dude.
I got these from England.
Anyways,
Space
my mom bought a
1999.
bunch of weed yesterday.
I got these from England in the mail.
Go ahead, Sarah.
She's just talking about drugs.
Well, she's still talking.
I keep forgetting what channel we're on, and I'm not even trying to use the F word or nothing. So.
But no, the fuck words are allowed here. What do you mean? Also, my mom, she found a new weed store, so that's good. I know you guys were all very concerned that my weed store closed down.
It broke our heart.
Well, I'm happy that you found another one.
Me too.
Thank you.
It burned down?
Let's go there for a little bit.
How ironic.
Yeah.
But you're right, Dan. Like I feel like I'm on Chance's stream, not Sarah's. It feels
I'm
like
sorry.
this is a Chance's show. No, I mean like
I
it's
feel
just
like I gotta
because
behave for some reason.
I know it's weird.
I'm doing everything I can. I'm sitting there like, I can't use the F word, and I can't make fun of woke people or nothing, you know. Oh, did I say that out loud? See what I'm talking about?
Oh my god! Look, Chad, you make your child look wholesome. It's crazy.
I mean, we got a joint burning behind us on screen, so like
I'm trying to cover it up with
I
comments.
Whatever.
I gotta remember, it's not my show. You're right. What do I care?
You've taken over hosting duties, so that's fine.
We're talking about good stuff today.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
Look at the comment that Corey made about you, Dan. Isn't that nice? Can you read it?
Yeah, I'm still reading it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even see it because it's so tiny on my phone.
Oh. And then TD's telling jokes now. The male parrot cheated and gave his wife chirpies.
thought it was great. Fucking nice. Whatever.
I thought it was funny. I was laughing too, but the guys didn't look like they were laughing
I
at all.
thought it was funny.
Me and Sarah are
Well,
cracking
some of
up
it-
at you.
They're not laughing because they probably had turkeys before.
No, but I have had space herpes. Those things are a menace.
You'll piss razor blades. Yeah.
But no, if we're going to talk about lost media, there's one that we absolutely have to talk about because it's June 2024, and this is the month that this movie is supposedly allowed to be shown by the Library of Congress, and that is The Day the Clown Died, which is the infamous movie by what's his name, Jerry Lewis, where he's a clown in the Holocaust leading children to the gas chambers while laughing. Like it's apparently like one of the most bad taste movies ever made, and Jerry Lewis himself was embarrassed by it. And
what was the name of it again?
The Day the Clown Died. Or cried. The Day the Clown cried, not died. And yeah, it's so he gave a copy to the Library of Congress on the proviso that they could not screen it until June 2024, which is now. So I was looking everywhere earlier today to see if I could find news of it being shown, but I can't find anything. I think Library of Congress just is keeping a lid on it because apparently it is awful.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Are you looking it up, Dan?
Oh yeah.
All right. So I kind of zoned out there for a few minutes. I'm a little.
I found the audio from it.
Internet.
It was stills, but I'm not finding the movie nowhere.
Yeah, I don't think the movie's been released yet, but it could be any day now. But yeah, it's like he showed it to a select group of people, and yeah, they all told him, "Don't ever release this ever."
I love the catch from the chat. What the fuck?
So I totally misunderstood this show's about. I started with the
No, it's fine.
stereoscope, which led to the Viewmaster.
Accomplished.
I didn't talk about this yet. The transistor radio.
Classic.
Yep. Did you know about this though, guys? Oh, let me see. Let me get this off the screen. What's Danny got?
Yeah, we've seen that. Yeah.
Day the Clown Died. Complete movie. Uncle Spoke'ems on YouTube.
It's a reenactment, though.
Is it?
That's what it says. It says complete reenactment.
Closest I found so far.
Hey, that's something.
I didn't catch the reenactment part.
Okay.
So yeah, show some more of your stills.
Oh, I
Chance.
just had a couple more. You guys may not be aware of this. I'm sure Danny Staton is. They actually had record players in cars.
What? How could you
In
even do that?
1960, yes, they sure did.
They did.
Phonographs,
I
and
thought
they
CD
didn't work
skipping
too
was
well.
bad.
Exactly. That's why they didn't last. It didn't make it because when you hit a bump, you ruined your record.
And there would be murder on the needle too.
Oh God, yeah, you'd break a lot of needles, and then
jeez.
you had real
Okay. In 30 days, it's getting screened for the first time.
You found it?
Yeah, it's 30 days from now.
You are the man with Google, man. I was looking into that for like half an hour.
Passion Project, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
You've got good Google mojo.
He does.
I just know how to, I've just searched so many times, so many things. I'm pretty good at finding things on searches. Because you gotta know how to word things when you search them.
Yeah, well,
if you
yeah.
don't word
Obviously.
things correctly, you'll get endless jargon.
And you have how to spell. That helps too. Huh.
But it's supposed to be released sometime in July for the first screenings.
Okay, cool.
That's like 30 days or something.
I mean, I don't know if I actually want to see it. It sounds awful,
Horrible, don't it? It sounds
but
just
it's
dreadful.
great that it's being released.
But the minute it hits YouTube, I'll share it out on one of my community posts.
Yeah, definitely. I'll look for it.
So what is it that you don't want to see but we keep having to look for? What are we talking about?
It's a movie called The Day the Clown Cried. It's it's Jerry Lewis as a clown in the Holocaust.
Wow.
Yes.
I thought Hogan's Heroes was bad. Wow.
That sounds interesting. I think I'll skip it.
Wasn't that like
Exactly.
1972?
Something like that. Yeah, he made it in the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it was a couple years before I was born that came out. Because I remember my grandfather talking about that a lot because of the whole Nazi situation.
Yeah,
And
I just
he loved
read
Jerry
this
Lewis.
thing where Jerry Lewis didn't want it released till after he died. He was so embarrassed by it.
He
He
couldn't.
wanted it delivered like after his death in 2017, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct.
My grandparents loved Jerry Lewis.
The French do too.
I was about to say the French.
I was fixing to say the same thing.
So Jim's camera at Dawn pointed out a really interesting factoid. The 9-volt battery was invented for the transistor radio.
I did
Very
not know
cool.
that.
Oh
I didn't
my
either.
God, I had one of them.
Yeah. Pretty neat.
9-volt battery? What?
Hey, and them batteries lasted a long time on them little radios. Believe that, they did.
Yeah, they sure did.
We used to take that little radio that you just showed fishing with us when I was a kid. We'd have it sitting over there playing some rock and roll music.
My grandma used to carry a little radio around all the time with her to listen to KNX 1070 News Radio. There you go.
Do that again. That was cute.
What?
Say the jingle. Perform the jingle.
KNX 1070. She got me all retarded again. KNX 1070 News Radio.
Love it.
He's going to use it.
Sarah, are you familiar with reel to reel? This was non-compressed audio for music, and it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, compact discs were all right, but they were compressed, and it's only gotten worse over time. Nothing sounds better.
Back the day when you was cutting an album, man.
Yeah, nothing sounds better than the reel to reel. And the
So I know all about reel to reel. My dad had a bunch of that, and he taught me all about it and how to use it and everything. And then it's all obsolete, but I still learned it. It was a lot of fun.
Very nice. And then TD brought this up, the 8-track. Already shown that in case anyone's tuning in late. And then my next pick was 16 millimeter film. That's where we watch movies in school, Gen Xers. And, you know, same with boomers, you know, teachers would have a media day and they would show an educational film or a cartoon if it was a Friday, or coming up on a holiday weekend, you'd watch a feature. I watched Old Yeller and lots of movies. And the library had a lot of films that you could check out in the school library. And the school library.
You went to a different school than I did.
What's that?
There wasn't no film in the library at the school I went to. You couldn't check out no movies or nothing.
Well, that's why the library was called the Media Center, because literally you had media in there.
And they had to be projectors, but if you go in there and try to watch something, it'd be like a 45-minute video about why not to drink and drive. You show these horrible things.
I love those old safety videos. They're so kitschy.
They're so horrible, man. I mean, I'm like 12 years old sitting there and they're showing me this video about some guy getting
blood on the streets,
of the road in pieces, and I'm like, okay.
Red Asphalt, great freaking movie. The remake, not so poignant, but the real one, very, very poignant. Oh my God, Red Asphalt.
How about Hemo the Magnificent? Hemo, remember Hemo? That was like where they went through a person's body. They showed that in school on reel-to-reel film. It's probably not Hemo. I think it's I got the name wrong, but it was a study of the human body. I'll look it up. I will look it up.
I bet it's not named Emu.
No, let me look it up. It's something the Magnificent.
That
Oh,
just
God.
reminds me of a ride that they had at Epcot that they don't have anymore. That's probably lost to time, and that's Body Wars, where you were like
Yes.
basically Fantastic Voyage, the ride,
I am right. Hemo, Hemo, the Magnificent, 1957
like
documentary.
hemoglobin. I get it.
Hemoglobin, correct. And it's
Mhm.
partly animated, and there were 2 live action hosts. Anyway, enough said. I have it on film, 16 millimeter film in my
That's
collection.
wild.
Let's see. So, I think I'm talking too much. Sarah, please continue.
What now?
Did you have anything else to add?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm having technical issues over here. I still don't have internet, and it's getting dark now.
You have no internet?
Yeah, but that's the whole point.
You still have no internet? I know. I mean, boy, I got to put you on suicide watch, girl. You going to make it through the night without the internet? Don't go all Epstein on me, please.
Oh my God!
You don't have dirt on Hillary Clinton, do you? Or Boeing, for that matter.
We all got dirt on Hillary Clinton.
I can't make it without my human laugh track. Come on now.
Yeah. Make sure you guys keep checking on me. Make sure you send me all the money out there so I can get all my problems fixed. There you go.
Yeah, do the things.
Yeah.
I shall return in 1 minute.
So did you guys want to keep going, or do you want to stop for now and pick this up another time, or what?
It's your show. I'm just your co-host. It's your call. Let's see. Do we want to just mention a couple comments? Harold the Hatter said, if you thought Schindler's List on Ice was terrible, come see The Day the Clown Cried. He's referring to the History of the World Part 1, where they had a preview for a movie they never made. Coming soon, a History of the World Part 2. I wish they made that movie, but they did do a remake of History of the World. I never saw it.
They did do History of the World Part 2, but it's like a series on Hulu, and I haven't watched it, and apparently it's not very good. Mel Brooks did produce it, but he's like, what, 98 now? So, I don't know.
I hear you, brother. Yeah. It's kind of like Coming to America 2. It's like, why?
Yeah, why do it now? It's too late.
There's a new Beverly Hills Cop coming out, too. I mean, we'll see.
That's right.
Eddie Murphy's still funny, but
I don't know. It can't be worse than Part 3. That was pretty bad.
Anyway, that's cute. That's a funny thing to say. That's funny.
Mel Brooks is 97. Yeah, born.
I was close. I was so close.
He's about to turn 98 on June 28th. He was born June 28th, 1926. He's going to be 98.
Nice. Good.
What's the over-under on him making it to 100, you think?
I think he'll make it. I think he seems really healthy.
Over-under, it's a betting term, Sarah. Place your bets. Will they make it to 100?
I hear what you said. Don't worry about it.
You're fine.
I think he'll make it because, like,
I think he will too.
He's still like I've seen interviews with him, and he's still like completely there. Like he's way better than our president. So, like, I think he'll be fine.
That's not hard. That's not hard to do.
It's not hard at all.
Right now, I still don't have internet, Brandon. I still do not.
Who's that? Oh, Brandon, and not your cousin. You're talking about the guy in Canada. Garbage truck.
Yeah, my cousin's name is not Brandon either.
No, but we're talking about Biden, and people say
Brandon, Biden,
let's go, Brandon. So it all comes together. That's what I thought you meant.
And if you're talking about Joe Biden, it's probably best I keep my mic muted till you're done.
It can affect Sarah's channel because bots love Biden, and if you say something bad about him, they will attack you, and they will.
Well, they can attack me all day long. I don't really care.
But this is Sarah's channel. She's already in copyright jail, so we gotta be nice.
Let's be nice.
I'm not gonna bash Sleepy Joe.
Mid-sized Sasquatch is giving us some roll eyes, so probably a Biden fan. I better watch it. Probably a fan of Brandon.
Hey, I have a movie that I remember when I was a kid that always made me cry every time I saw it. And when I was a little girl, do you guys remember? Is it Mickey Rooney? The movie Bill. He played that character extremely well.
I do not.
Come on, somebody tell me that they remember Mickey Rooney. I'm looking into it. And Dennis Quaid. Anybody?
What was the name of the movie?
Bill. He played to be politically correct, disabled, mentally disabled
In
man.
1981, apparently, and it apparently won Emmy Awards.
It made me cry so hard when I seen it. I remember being a little girl and telling my grandma when I would see people in town like that, I'd be like, "Mom, it's Bill. Grandma, look, it's Bill." And they'd be like, "Shh."
Apparently
I would
based
just
on a real
cry.
person.
1981.
Yeah. And it was a very, very moving film. Like
I remember that now. Oh my God, I haven't thought
it
about
was
that.
an
yet.
extremely moving
You got me
film.
because I have never seen this movie.
That and the Elephant Man. That and the Elephant Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Elephant Man messed
And
me up,
Mask.
man.
Mask
I've
with
seen the
Cher.
Elephant Man. Ooh.
The movie Mask with Cher, that one also did me
Oh
in.
God.
God,
Just
that tore.
change the
And
subject, please.
The original Marty
my
McFly.
God.
Ah.
The McFired McFly. Eric Stoltz in Mask. Yeah.
What are we doing? Naming our top 10 worst movies, or with the
Well,
grossest
Eric
characters?
Stoltz, The Fly, too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Top 10 grossest movie characters for 100, Bob.
Well, I just remember that movie really moved me a lot, and I never saw it again. Like I never seen it advertised anywhere. I couldn't find it. Like when I was looking for it to watch it when I became an adult, I wanted to buy it. Like I can't find it on DVD. I've looked on eBay. Like it's I don't know.
It's
but
tearjerker.
I
It's a
watched
very
some
big
movie.
trip.
I watched some movie. I swear to God,
I'll find it for you,
it
Chris.
just popped in my head.
you.
It was some movie from a long time ago where kids put underwear on their head, create a computer woman, and she turns some guy into a pile of poop.
Oh,
Weird Science.
Weird Science, and that was
Weird
Bill
Science.
Paxton,
Pop
not
in my
just some
head.
guy.
Weird Science.
Closest freaking thing I've seen in a movie that really got me.
It's Jabba the Hutt parody. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Bill Paxton, and he was
That
like
was-
an
oh my
older
God.
brother, and he was he was a jerk. He deserved it.
I like that movie, but except for that one scene where he gets turned to poop, and it really like.
You're a
Yeah.
sensitive soul, Dan.
I didn't like the Jeff Goldblum Fly movie neither. I liked the movie, but I didn't like the gross parts where he was all.
That one I will give you is pretty darn gross.
Oh man,
Yeah.
do not. I tell you what, don't watch The Fly right after you eat spaghetti and meatballs. It
Don't
won't.
eat The
It
Fly.
don't set good.
Don't watch The Fly when you're gonna eat. Period.
Yeah,
Just
I ate first and it got me. I was like, oh man.
Just don't.
But take note. Let me point this out. No movie out there is worse than The Human Centipede.
Oh no, I agree with you, Dan.
That is the
100%.
worst thing I ever seen.
Yeah, that
Visually.
shit. I don't even know why they even made a movie like that.
I don't know why they made a part 2.
They made a part 3.
Ah!
Oh God. Yeah, no. That made me so sick.
Yeah, terrible.
I'm just gonna stay out of this conversation because I've seen way grosser, and that's because I'm
How can
broken.
you see closer than that? Besides
Broken?
maybe
You're
Cannibal
broken.
Holocaust.
Look up a movie called Necromantic. It's even worse. Trust me.
Really? Now you got my
Yeah.
curiosity up. It's like a train wreck. I don't want to watch them. I just
I've seen a lot of just vile movies that should not exist. Modern Problems. There it is.
How about
I
this
like
one?
that movie.
1941.
1941.
I like that movie better.
Spielberg's flop. Yeah.
I'm just going to show
It's hard to
some.
believe that was a flop because it was really good.
It's a great movie. I don't know why it flopped either. Towering Inferno, of course.
That used to come
O.J.
on TV
Simpson.
every week when I was a kid.
Xanadu. Nice.
Oh God!
War Games. Yeah, I've covered that on my
Well,
channel.
Only one piece of crap so far.
Enemy
I've
Mine.
covered that on my channel as well. One of my favorites.
You know, I really don't like Xanadu, by the way.
Nobody does. I like the soundtrack. The movie's Nighthawks.
That was
Nighthawks.
a
Wow.
really great movie.
I haven't seen that,
That
in
movie,
years.
that movie was ahead of its time.
I
Lindsay
think so.
Wagner, Sly's wife in that movie, and Rucker Hauer, and the bald chick from Star Trek: The Motion Picture playing a T.
Persis Kambata.
You got to
Yeah.
remember, this movie was about terrorists coming to New York and doing terrorism way before any terrorism had ever been done in the United States. That movie was prophetic and ahead of its time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think so.
It was one of the most impressive movies that still stands up today.
Remember the beginning when the pretty sales girl is blown up
Yeah.
by the bad guy in the beginning
Totally.
in London?
Yeah.
Who was the actress?
Oh my God! He probably
Catherine
knows.
Mary Stewart.
Mary
from
Stewart. Oh, I've talked to her on Twitter.
He knows everything.
Night of the Comet. That was one of her first roles. That pretty girl. That's who she was. That's when I met her. I met her recently. Oh, there's her contact info.
She's very, very nice. Like,
I have not the ability to remember bit characters and bit parts in movies.
The
underrated
cable guy,
movie,
of course.
Cable
I'm
Guy.
50-50 on that one.
I love this
I
movie.
haven't
Falling
seen it.
Down.
Ah,
That
Michael
was
classic.
good.
Douglas holds up.
That's a classic. Absolutely.
He goes ballistic. Oh God.
What was it, over a hamburger?
Yeah.
Voyage
Hey,
to the bottom of the
They're
sea?
not serving. They're not serving. They're still serving breakfast. Does he not
Breakfast,
say-
that's right.
Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Voice to the Bottom of the Sea, the movie where the sky
movie.
catches on fire?
Yeah, great
The
movie.
first,
Great
the first
movie.
movie. Okay.
Another movie I've covered on my channel.
And of course, Frankie Avalon had a movie, and that's where Barbara Eden acted with Michael Ansara, her
Michael
husband,
Ansara,
father
yep.
of their only child who died of a drug overdose. Sadly, Logan's Run.
I like
Farrah
that movie.
Farrah Fawcett had a
movie.
death scene in it. Farrah Fawcett. Raise the
And that's what you
Titanic.
run that.
Ah,
That was-
Raise the
I didn't like
Titanic.
that one too much.
Really?
This is the show. This is the movie that killed Space 1999. Sir Lou Grade.
Anything with the word Titanic in it kills it for me.
Well, Sir Lou Grade, who was in charge of ITC at the time, took the budget from Space 1999 season 3, put it into this movie, and the movie bombed. So he deserved. In 1999 was canceled right when Star Wars was about just weeks before the release of Star Wars on May 25th and limited release. Had they waited, space was in, and I bet that show would have lasted a lot
Would
longer.
have launched off, yeah.
Looker, now I'm not a creep,
Not
but you
familiar
know
with
who's
that one.
oh, you know who's nude in it? Susan Day from the Partridge
Ooh.
Family, Lori Partridge.
Nice.
Yeah, Looker, you
Well,
gotta see it.
I hadn't seen it, but now I've got to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a dirty old man. I'm fine with it. Yeah.
It's a really it's a thriller. It's really a good movie.
Cool.
And then this is for you,
Oh my
Danny
God.
Staton. Titanic, which I call
Ah,
Tit-Tanic because of a certain scene where Rose is being painted, but I digress. That's it.
You're killing Sarah, apparently.
She's heard all
anybody,
this.
sitting through 3 hours of that Titanic movie is enough to give you mental problem. By the time the ship hits the iceberg and starts sinking, you're praying for it to hurry up and be over. Go ahead, sink. I want you to sink. Please sink. You're cheering for the iceberg in the water.
Danny, I got these for you because Weird Science is in here somewhere. I was going to hold that up. The movie you mentioned with Chet, Bill Paxton, who was in
Yeah.
Titanic, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody was in Titanic.
Okay, so what are we talking about now? Forgot where we're living at.
We're not talking about Titanic.
Yeah, thank God, because I was about to be upset, I think.
We're not talking about Titanic.
Yeah, if you want a good movie about a ship disaster, I recommend the Poseidon Adventure.
The
Because
Poseidon
it was
Adventure is a
a
classic.
lot better movie.
Yeah.
But don't watch the sequel. It's not very good.
The original had Ernest Borgnine in it or something.
But Angela Cartwright was in the sequel. That was the only good point of the sequel.
Well, wasn't Michael Caine in the sequel, too?
Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. I always thought Irwin Allen directed Poseidon Adventure. He directed some of the action scenes, but he's not
But
the director.
he was credited as the producer. He probably directed more than...
But let me point that out that once again, that is a better movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Poseidon Adventure is a better movie. I'm not going to argue with you there. I like Titanic, but I like the Poseidon Adventure a lot more.
Sarah and
I will say I like parts of Titanic.
The Honeymooners.
That's the best set, the most complete. It was for the
Wow, that's
2011. Oh yeah, it's got all the 1951 to 1957.
It's amazing that survived. Like, really.
This is from it's a set from 2011, and it's just they released some they'd never released before in this set. I just love this one so much.
I was watching some old Jackie Gleason something or another, and he was talking about a game show he made that was so bad he went on the next week and apologized it, and it only aired one time. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I haven't heard that before.
I can't remember the name of it.
Have you guys seen this Piranha 3D Tug? And
Yes.
I love this movie. It's an underrated slasher comedy. Love it. Anyway,
Yeah.
Richard Rice is
Absolutely.
in it. Doc
Yeah.
Brown's in it.
Yep.
I want to say thank you to Keebler. She sent me the link to that movie. She found it for me.
Oh, Bill?
Bill?
She found Bill? Awesome. Cool.
Okay, Tug, check this out. I want you
Send it to me,
to Google this. Jackie Gleason TV show called You're in the Picture. It's a game show from 1961. It was so bad that only one episode aired, and Jackie Gleason come on in the time slot the next week and spent the whole 30 minutes apologizing for how bad the show was before starting something else. And it really happened.
Yeah, I just Googled it, and you are not lying. That's
I
all
watched
true.
a show about it last week, and I was like, what?
My grandpa always hated Jackie
amazing.
Gleason. He said he was
It deserves a video, dude.
UFO, Jerry Anderson, precursor to Space 19. Sarah, I'm going to get you hooked on this show too. There's only 26 episodes. It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming. And there's the DVD set.
All right.
Okay, well, I think it's getting late for me. I think I might have to go.
Tug, I apologize
All
if
right,
I spoke too
well,
much.
No, it's fine.
Time together. I will try to not be on this next time. I'll be on some water and
No,
calm.
you did great, Chance. Don't be so
Yeah,
self-conscious.
we like it. A lot of us like it when you talk for a few minutes. It gives the rest of us a chance to do other things and relax, and you're carrying the show. You're an intricate part of it.
Well, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Plus, you come up with facts that we
So
just
anyways,
have no comprehension of how you know all these facts.
Whatever. Chance, pick the outro. One of the top ones there, and play us out.
Okay, I'll play us out. Let me just go to my brand real quick. I was gonna. Here's another last thing. Beeper. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
You know, all the rest of them were the ones wimping out, not me. I put the charger in. I was prepared.
All the comments I'll put on the screen I haven't gotten to. Hello, Corey again. He said, I did magic for the president of the Toothpick Association. Now that's comedy. Okay, I thought he was going to say Tooth Fairy. I don't know. All right, so let me get... I'm going to mark that comment.
Hey, Corey, that joke was so good, it's going to do some magic. It's going to make us all disappear. Happy trails.
Happy trails. And my 5th anniversary is this Saturday. 5-year anniversary of the Nostalgic Podblast. I'd appreciate it if anybody wants to check it out. Sarah's going to be on there. Right, Sarah?
Yes, I will be there on the Saturday for you.
Sarah's going to be on there, and I will play us out. Let me just... gosh darn it. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. Please. Don't go yet.
I got to Google what culture is.
And it's going to be about, and B.B.B. designed that for me. So thanks to Chrissy on the panel. She designed this for me and a little trailer video expertly. And we're going to be talking about the great fathers of pop culture. Some you see here, others that you don't see here. It's going to be a pretty good show, I think.
Oh, okay. I got you now. I get it.
7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific this Saturday. And then I'll be on B.B.B.'s panel, Chrissy, Saturday night with Sarah and Dan. If Dan can make it, hopefully Dan, South Carolina, can make it, and Jim's camera.
When was that?
Yeah.
When
We're going
is
to be
it?
doing 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Saturday, Pacific Standard Time. So it'll be 9 p.m. your time. We're going to be doing was that?
Okay, Saturday. Wow, that's
Saturday.
days away.
Yeah.
Remind me on Friday, Sarah.
We'll send out the link Friday. I'll send out the link to everybody.
I'm horrible. I didn't even know I was going to be on here till this morning.
Doug, what do you want to promote? Oh, Sarah's trying to say something. Go ahead, Sarah.
Well, yeah, I just want to say I can't do a show this Thursday. My mom is going in to get, I don't know if she wants to say she's getting done, but she's getting her colonoscopy done. So I won't be around. I will be on a solo leave for my mom all day to make sure the thing.
I got you.
Let me point out that is one.
I'll be at Mongolia Monster with Dan on Thursday. Then, yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, them colonoscopies are like the worst experience you will ever have. It's like being kidnapped by aliens and getting an anal probe.
It's that like the before when you have to drink the stuff that makes you like just completely shit yourself all day long. That's the worst part.
If you look up that doctor, it looks like a gray alien. You in trouble.
If I do get free on Thursday, then I'll see you guys there at which is fucking place.
Mongolian Monster.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
They're a great channel. All right. Well, quick. Here's 37 seconds of a trailer Chrissy made for me. B.B.B. 37 seconds. Brilliant.
Hey,
Brilliant.
hey, wait a minute. I didn't see Bill Cosby in there.
He was in there.
He was in
Was
there.
he in it? Bill was in there? I didn't see him.
He was in one of the small boxes. There were so many.
Oh, you probably
Don't want to
put
make
in
him
there.
too big or you get
Probably
canceled.
Bitty box, right?
You'd have probably saw it if I put Jello pudding pops in there.
Did you put Al Bundy in there?
What's that?
He was in
Was
the
Al
like
Bundy
the
in there?
little mosaic of all the
Yeah.
fathers. He was there.
Tug, we got to connect. My email is, well, I have your email because I needed your address to mail you. And we need to
You
connect.
guys connected on Facebook after this.
Oh yeah, we're connected on Facebook. I'm so stupid. Okay. Duh. Hello. All right. What video do you want us to be played out with, Sarah? Which one?
Well, just pick the top one's fine.
The top one's fine. Okay. I didn't want to play the same one we already played, and that's not. All right. Thank you very much, Dan in South Carolina, B.B.B. in Northern California, and of course, the unapologetic Geek Tug in Missouri State. Tug, what's your real first name? I know it, but do you not want to say?
My name is Eric. It's fine. It's not a secret.
Thank you for being here with Sarah on her channel and with me, her co-host. And everybody have a great week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Happy trails.
Watch out, cause I'm here now and I'm staying. Claws out, this the fight that I've been craving. I know there's something inside of me, but it's been masked by fear and anxiety. But no more, I'ma break out of the chains. Let's defiantly. Go! I'm waking up, this ain't enough. All of my dreams were starting to rust, but I believe that I can adjust. Positive thoughts, I'm starting to trust. Nothing's deserved unless you work. Something of worth requires an urge. I have been hurt by those at their worst, but that gave me will, some power, a surge. And they know that I won't surrender, so they fear me as a contender. When I fight, they always remember, yeah. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great. I will be known, I won't let go. I will not stop, I will be great. We came here to conquer, like we're monsters. We can last much longer, we do this for honor. We came here to conquer, like we're monsters. And we can last much longer. I am a hunter, I've been filled with demons and hunger. I am the thunder, I command the masses in numbers. Look at the fear in their eyes, this is what happens when you are surprised. It's time to meet your demise, just call me Zeus and look to the sky. Everything's amplified, no they cannot deny. I will be rectified if you dissect me. Find scars that you left behind, injuries that define me to my core. They'll hear me roar like never before. The pain I absorbed is feeding my core. I'm hard to ignore, I'll beat down your door. If you wanted war, well then you got war. And they know that I won't surrender, so they fear me as a contender. When I fight, they always remember, yeah. I will be